Chapter 958. Gu Yuntian was the sixth direct disciple of Lei Emperor. Not only was his innate talent tyrannical, but he had also made a breakthrough during his trip to Netherworld Palace, stepping into the late Emperor realm. As the direct disciple of the five emperors, Gu Yuntian had always been very confident in himself. But now, facing Long Yu, who had killed 3 Emperor realm experts in succession, he couldn't help but feel a little diffident. This Long Yu was really too strange. How about it, Brother Gu, are you confident? Tian Xinghe was also surprised by Long Yu's battle prowess. He frowned and asked Gu Yuntian. Although Gu Yuntian felt a little diffident in his heart, he still maintained his arrogance on the surface. He snorted coldly, "I'm different from Ji Haokong. I won't fail miserably." "That's good. I believe in you. If you can kill this person, my Tian Xinghe will reward you handsomely." Tian Xinghe smiled. Tian Xinghe only had the strength of an Emperor realm expert. He couldn't clearly see a battle between emperors, so he couldn't estimate the strength of Long Yu, Ji Haokong, and the others. Since Gu Yuntian still had confidence even now, he must be extremely strong. Not far away, where Lei Emperor, Tong Zai, and the others were gathered, seeing Gu Yuntian and Tian Xinghe walking so close together, even Wu Long, Ji Bai, and the others who hated Long Yu couldn't stand Gu Yuntian's actions. "Master, this Long Yu needs to be taught a lesson, but Tian Xinghe isn't a good person either. Isn't it a bit inappropriate for little Six to be so close to him?" Ji Bai couldn't help but ask Lei Emperor. Unexpectedly, Lei Emperor sighed and shook his head. "Let him be. In the following battle, Long Yu is bound to win. I tried to persuade him to give up on this battle, but he refused for the sake of face. I have no other choice. Although he is my disciple, I cannot control his thoughts. If I forcibly obstruct him, he might even resent me in return." Hearing Lei Emperor's words, Wu Long, Ji Bai, and the others all felt a chill in their hearts. Even their master felt that Gu Yuntian was absolutely no match for Long Yu. Just how strong was Long Yu? But thinking of how not long ago, Ji Bai, Wu Long, and the others were all worried about Lei Emperor's safety, while Gu Yuntian had already mingled with Tian Xinghe and the Battle Emperor's side, they also felt a little more disgust for Gu Yuntian. Then, when Lei Emperor returned, Long Yu also returned. Even though Lei Emperor said that it was because of Long Yu that he could return safely, Gu Yuntian still didn't believe it. He felt that it must be Lei Emperor who brought Long Yu back. On the path of martial arts, how difficult is it to follow one's heart? Yi Ziwei sighed in her heart and glanced at Gu Yuntian. Of course, she knew that Gu Yuntian had initially arranged a battle with Long Yu for Huang Tatian. But now, the nature of the matter had changed. Gu Yuntian's insistence was only for the sake of his own face. Among the spectators, there were also people from the Ninth Sun's sect, the Taiwu Empire, and the Watermoon Sword sect. The thousands of disciples of the Watermoon Sword sect were quite indignant about the tragic death of their elder, Ji Haokong. Every one of them wanted to see Long Yu killed on the spot by Gu Yuntian. But at this moment, the faces of the higher-ups of these sects and forces were very ugly. Because judging from Long Yu's attitude, he probably didn't take Gu Yuntian seriously at all. Once this Long Yu defeated Gu Yuntian, then in this world, there would be no force that could stop Long Yu's rise. Maybe in a few years, the entire divine battle world would belong to this person. This was definitely not good news for the Ninth Sun sect, the Taiwu Empire, and the Watermoon Sword sect. On the other hand, the people from the Dragon Return Empire all laughed when they saw how powerful Long Yu was. They had befriended Long Yu and even helped Long Yu repel the assassins from the Dark Shadow Pavilion. Befriending Long Yu was definitely a wise decision. Although the Red Emperor had been replaced by the Battle Emperor, with Long Yu's current strength, it was not impossible for him to rise again in the future. Soon, Gu Yuntian stepped onto the platform, preparing for the last life or death battle of the day with Long Yu. "Long Yu, although you've defeated Qin Changyu, Gong Sun Rong, and Ji Haokong, but against me, Gu Yuntian, you'd better surrender obediently. Otherwise, you really won't be able to keep your life. Gu Yuntian walked onto the platform with a relaxed expression. His white robe fluttered in the wind, making him look elegant and at ease. On the other hand, Long Yu's clothes were torn and tattered due to the 3 battles he had fought. He looked a little ragged, but his expression was even more relaxed than Gu Yuntian's. We won't know the result until we fight. After saying this, Long Yu opened his mouth and spat out a dragon breath of the 9 underworlds. It instantly shattered the void and blasted towards Gu Yuntian's head. How dare you not give me any face? Gu Yuntian didn't expect Long Yu to attack with just a few words. His face immediately darkened. He raised his hand and a thunderous sound exploded, directly shattering the dragon breath of the 9 underworlds. Royal Path Mystique. The Royal Path Mystique that Gu Yuntian displayed was, of course, more powerful than the Royal Path Mystique that Long Yu had displayed. After the thunderous sound exploded, it immediately condensed into a thunderbolt that struck towards Long Yu. After all, there were 3 levels of difference between the 2 martial arts realms. Moreover, Gu Yuntian was also an expert who could challenge those of a higher level. Fallen Dark Star. Long Yu raised his hand and several fallen dark stars condensed. They directly flew towards the thunderbolt and completely shattered it. Then, Long Yu's figure moved, and under the effect of the void divine text, he directly flashed to Gu Yuntian's side. Hand of the 9 underworlds. 7 white skeletal arms emerged from the void and directly grabbed towards Gu Yuntian. Insignificant skill. Thunderclap shield. Gu Yuntian snorted softly. The power of the thunderclap divine text formed a giant net that covered his entire body. However, as soon as the 7 white skeletal arms came in contact with the giant thunderclap net, they were actually corroded and disappeared. This thunderclap shield was also one of Gu Yuntian's Royal Path Mystique. Its defensive ability was very strong. Long Yu narrowed his eyes slightly. He knew that this guy was indeed skilled. At least in terms of probing, this Gu Yuntian was much stronger than Ji Haokong and the others. However, if Gu Yuntian's strength was only at this level, Long Yu really wouldn't take him seriously. Thunder of the 9 heavens, strike for me. Right after that, Gu Yuntian took out a combat weapon from his bosom. It looked like an ancient-grade transcendent combat weapon, and what was different from Qin Zhongyu's was that Gu Yuntian's fusion with the Thunderball combat weapon had reached the divine fusion realm, just a little bit away from the peerless realm. It seemed that Gu Yuntian had obtained the Thunderclap combat weapon of the 9 heavens for a long time. However, it was only an ancient supreme combat weapon that had reached the soul fusion realm. It was not much of a threat to Long Yu. The Thunderclap combat weapon of the 9 heavens flew towards Long Yu. Along the way, lightning flashed and exploded. Very soon, countless lightning flashes appeared around Long Yu, enveloping him continuously. Ancient Dragon Bone Tower, come out. Long Yu did not panic. Although he could not defend against such a lightning web with the fallen Dark Star, he still had the Archean Supreme Combat Weapon, the Ancient Dragon Bone Tower. Moreover, Long Yu had also reached the Soul Fusion Realm with the Ancient Dragon Bone Tower. He would definitely not be weaker than his opponent's divine exhaustion of the 9 heavens. As soon as the Ancient Dragon Bone Tower appeared, Long Yu's figure flashed into the internal space of the Ancient Dragon Bone Tower, disappearing from everyone's sight. 9 Underworld Heavenly Screen. Origin Energy, 9 Underworld Deterrence. Dragon Bone Break. Using his techniques continuously, a layer of eerie 9 Underworld divine characters appeared on the surface of the Ancient Dragon Bone Tower. This was the 9 Underworld Heavenly Screen, the strongest defensive technique of the Ancient Dragon Bone Tower. After activating the 9 Underworld Heavenly Screen, the Ancient Dragon Bone Tower completely ignored the lightning web around it. In an instant, it barged into the lightning web and spun at a high speed, crashing towards Gu Yuntian. Gu Yuntian was just about to react when a wave of 9 underworld aura shocked him on the spot. In a breath's time, he could not react in time and was sent flying by the ancient dragon bone tower. Your physical body is quite strong. Long Yu narrowed his eyes and was surprised to see that Gu Yuntian was still alive after being sent flying by the ancient dragon bone tower. Gu Yuntian could be said to be the second person to survive a direct collision with the dragon bone break. The first person was the heavenly prison Thunder Emperor. That guy's physical body was purely insane, even stronger than Long Yu's. However, Gu Yuntian must have also consumed some elixir to strengthen his physical body, or cultivated some kind of body tempering technique. However, although Gu Yuntian did not die, he was still dizzy from the collision. He fell heavily to the ground, his chest caved in slightly and he spat out a large mouthful of blood. Thunder recovery. Gu Yuntian hurriedly used a healing mystic art to stabilize his internal injuries. At the same time, a layer of lightning web appeared around him. He was subconsciously defending against Long Yu's attack. As expected, Long Yu's attack came immediately. At this moment, it was another dragon bone break. The ancient dragon bone tower spun at high speed and tore through the air at an extremely fast speed. Gu Yuntian instinctively activated his defensive measures but could not dodge in time. He was hit by the dragon bone break once again. However, the good thing was that he activated the lightning web for defense this time, reducing the destructive power of the dragon bone break by half, allowing him to withstand it with just his physical body. Luckily, I've consumed the dragon elephant elixir and cultivated a desolate grade body tempering technique. My physical body is stronger than ordinary people. Otherwise, I'm afraid I would have died. Gu Yuntian felt a lingering fear. However, he had killed many experts when he was training outside with his physical body that was stronger than ordinary people. Therefore, he did not panic at this moment. Lightning flashed all over his body once again. Under the effects of the thunder recovery, his injuries healed rapidly and he was almost back to his peak condition. However, immediately after, 8 different colored light pillars suddenly appeared around him, suppressing Gu Yuntian instantly. Just now, Long Yu found an opportunity to set up a first-grade god chain. 8 trigrams heaven suppression was activated at this moment and suppressed Gu Yuntian directly. Dragon Bone Break. Long Yu continued to use the Dragon Bone Break. The ancient dragon bone tower rushed forward and directly collided with Gu Yuntian, who was suppressed by the 8 trigrams heaven suppression. Chapter 959. Gu Yuntian really wanted to break free and take over the entire fighting ring. Outside the fighting ring, everyone could only see the lightning that filled the sky, dispersing the pitch-black light. They had no idea where Long Yu and Gu Yuntian were. At this moment, Long Yu, who had been hiding at the side, finally moved. Divine Design. 9 Abyss. 9 pitch-black spatial cracks appeared from all directions, instantly extending towards Gu Yuntian. Gu Yuntian, who had been immersed in the instant killing of Long Yu, could not react at all. He had thought that he had already killed Long Yu, but now he realized that what he had killed with the Thunderclap Divine Ball was only Long Yu's primordial shadow. What method had Long Yu used to deceive his senses? Gu Yuntian was both shocked and infuriated. The 9 pitch-black spatial cracks within the sky of lightning had already surrounded him. He wanted to dodge, but he discovered that he could not even use the spatial divine runes, because the entire battle platform was already within the absolute space domain of the ancient dragon skeleton tower. The destructive power of the divine design 9 Abyss was unparalleled. Gu Yuntian's tyrannical thunder body could withstand the attack of the dragon bone smash, but against the 9 pitch-black spatial cracks of the divine design 9 Abyss, it was like a piece of paper, completely defenseless. The first crack of the 9 Abyss tore through the air and extended to his right arm, directly cutting off his entire arm. The second crack of the 9 Abyss descended from the sky, cutting off his entire shoulder, when all the cracks of the 9 abyss crossed each other, Gu Yuntian's entire body was cut into pieces by the 9 cracks of the 9 abyss. Not even a single piece of him was left. Lightning flashed all over the place. No one knew what had happened on the fighting ring, not even Lei Emperor and Emperor Yin. This was because when Long Yu had attacked, he had used the secret martial arts technique of balanced control, concealing the aura on the fighting ring. This thunderclap divine ball is really powerful. Long Yu hid in a corner of the battle platform, a trace of blood flowing out of his mouth. Even though he had used the desolate shadow to deceive Gu Yuntian, the explosive power of the thunderclap divine ball still caused him some minor injuries. If he was hit head-on by the thunderclap god ball, even Long Yu might not be able to withstand it. Unfortunately, Long Yu had mastered the 6th level, balanced control. In terms of detection and concealment, he was much stronger than Gu Yuntian. Thus, he had established the foundation of this life and death battle. When Gu Yuntian died, the thunderclap divine runes and lightning began to gradually dissipate. The scene that appeared in front of everyone was that of Long Yu standing proudly on the fighting platform. Only Long Yu's figure was left on the entire fighting platform. What did this mean? It wasn't that Gu Yuntian had gone into hiding, or that Gu Yuntian had been killed by Long Yu, with not even his bones remaining. Did Gu Yuntian have any hidden methods? Never. Chapter 960. Gu Yuntian was defeated once again, losing his life at the hands of Long Yu. Everyone gasped in amazement at the scene on the stage. Long Yu was only a late-stage emperor, but he'd managed to kill 4 mid-stage great emperors in a row. One of them was the Thunder Emperor's personal disciple, Gu Yuntian, who was close to peak late-stage great emperor. Gu Yuntian's strength was completely comparable to the few strongest people in the Watermoon Sword sect. But now, he was killed by Long Yu in such a manner. So much so that no one knew how Gu Yuntian died. This shocked the Watermoon Sword sect and the other forces of the 6 sects and 10 nations. When he first came to the holy city of the 5 emperors, Long Yu was just a small shrimp in the mystical secret realm. How had he grown to such an extent now? If Long Yu was given more time, wouldn't Long Yu become heaven-defying? The cultivators of the Watermoon Sword sect, the Nine Suns sect, the Taiwu Empire, and the other forces were all frowning. Looking at Long Yu in the arena, they felt their hairs stand on end. This kid was too terrifying. Most importantly, this Long Yu was their enemy. Whether it was the Watermoon Sword sect, the Nine Suns sect, or the Taiwu Empire, they all made a decision that they had no choice but to befriend Long Yu. No matter what kind of enmity Long Yu had with them in the past, they absolutely could not become enemies with Long Yu from now on. Because right now, just Long Yu's strength alone was enough to threaten the foundation of their power. Seeing Gu Yuntian's figure disappear into thin air, Lei Emperor, as his master, sighed. The path of martial Tao is full of ups and downs and dangers. If you can overcome it, you will become an expert. If you can't, you will become a pile of bones. Lei Emperor sighed and said, for those who pursue martial arts, the most suitable thing to do is to seek advantages and avoid disadvantages. Do not place yourself in a dangerous situation for the sake of face. It's a pity that Gu Yuntian's martial arts talent is not bad, but his personality is not. Although Gu Yuntian was Lei Emperor's disciple, in fact, Lei Emperor was only responsible for teaching Gu Yuntian. When Gu Yuntian reached a certain level, he would be taken away by the forces from beyond the heavens. So, when it came to their relationship, it was really not that deep. Lei Emperor admired Long Yu very much. Although Gu Yuntian was his direct disciple, if Gu Yuntian wanted to have a life-and-death battle with Long Yu, even he, Lei Emperor, could not stop it. Unless he forcefully stopped it, but if he did that, Gu Yuntian would probably resent Lei Emperor instead. Naturally, Lei Emperor would not do such a thing. Beside him, Flame Emperor also shook his head slightly. His direct disciples were not bad. Their personalities were more suitable to advance on the path of martial art. There was no one like Gu Yuntian, which made Flame Emperor feel rather fortunate. On the path of martial arts there would always be someone better than you. Being the direct disciple of the 5 emperors did not mean anything. If one thought that it was a symbol of strength, then one would be gravely mistaken. If even Lei Emperor and Flame Emperor were so emotional, then there was no need to mention the other martial cultivators who were watching the battle. Long Yu had defeated 4 martial emperors in a row with his cultivation of the late Emperor realm. His strength was definitely worthy of everyone's respect. But now, some people were thinking, this Long Yu was originally the direct disciple of the Red Emperor. The Battle Emperor must not be used to seeing him in the limelight, right? Tian Xinghe watched from outside the arena as Long Yu won 4 battles in a row in high spirit. He could not help but look a little gloomy. He had wanted to use this opportunity to get rid of Long Yu, but he did not expect that Long Yu would be so hard to deal with, since cultivators at the level of Ji Haokong and Gu Yuntian could not deal with Long Yu. Then if he wanted to kill Long Yu, he could only hire someone stronger to assassinate Long Yu. Tian Xinghe's thoughts raced, and he quickly came up with a rough plan in his mind. I was wondering why there were so few people in the city. So they are all outside the city. Why is it so lively here? Suddenly, a wild voice came from the gate of the holy city of the 5 emperors. When everyone heard this voice, their hearts skipped a beat. They all raised their heads and looked towards the gate. As expected, they saw the Battle Emperor, Zhang Kuanga, dressed in golden armor. He was leading some members of the alliance of 5 emperors out of the holy city of the 5 emperors. The Battle Emperor's face was filled with pride and confidence. He looked into the arena and saw Long Yu standing there. Ever since the Battle Emperor became one of the 5 emperors, he had not suffered too many setbacks. Everything was under his control. Although the Sage Emperor and the Demon Emperor would restrict him, in reality, they would not care too much. As long as he did not go overboard, the Sage Emperor and the Demon Emperor would not bother to intervene. Therefore, the Battle Emperor successfully formed an alliance that belonged to him, including the Tai Wu Empire, the Water Moon Sword Sect, and so on. Now, the Battle Emperor naturally noticed Long Yu and recognized Long Yu. Wasn't this the talented young man who had participated in the strongest King Realm and strongest Emperor Realm competitions, Long Yu? The Battle Emperor remembered Long Yu. It was because he faced Long Yu that his disciple, Tian Xinghe, admitted defeat in the strongest King Realm competition. He did not get first place in the strongest King Realm competition and lost the chance to go to the Divine Martial Realm. Of course, the Battle Emperor did not have a good impression of Long Yu, especially when this Long Yu was the former disciple of the Red Emperor. The Battle Emperor had always regretted not being able to kill the Red Emperor on the spot when he challenged the Red Emperor. He even let that old man escape. However, now that this Long Yu wanted to show off, he would deal with him properly. Seeing that the Battle Emperor had come over, Tian Xinghe hurriedly ran over. In a few words, he told the Battle Emperor everything that had happened, adding oil and vinegar. Especially in the last few rounds, a few of them wanted to beg for mercy, but this Long Yu did not care and directly killed the 3 of them on the spot. This guy is really cruel, Tian Xinghe said through gritted teeth. Many people agreed with this statement. After all, even they did not see how Long Yu killed his opponents, so the other party definitely could not have begged for mercy. This kind of method directly killed 3 people, and not even their remains were left. It was indeed a rather cruel method. When the Battle Emperor heard Tian Xinghe's words, his face immediately turned serious. He looked at Long Yu and asked in a deep voice, "Long Yu, is what my disciple said true?" Long Yu did not have a good impression of the Battle Emperor. He smiled and said indifferently, "If it is true, what do you want? If it is not true, what do you want? If it is true, you will naturally be punished for killing Emperor Realm cultivators. After all, these Emperor Realm cultivators are precious resources. When we were fighting against the strange beasts, we did not have enough Emperor Realm cultivators. Yet, you killed your fellow humans here. Isn't that a heinous crime? The Battle Emperor said righteously. This was not wrong. The alliance of 5 emperors had a big mission now, which was to fight against the invading beast. The main fighting force was naturally the Emperor Realm cultivators. Now that Long Yu had killed 4 Emperor Realm cultivators, the impact on the entire human race was not small. However, Long Yu did not feel the slightest bit of emotion towards this. One had to know that the battle between him and the 4 of them was a life-and-death battle. Furthermore, the 4 of them had volunteered to fight. Did Long Yu have to give in to them and be careful not to kill them? Ha! Long Yu laughed out loud. Battle Emperor, do you know that those 4 battles were all life-and-death battles? If you were in a life-and-death battle, would you give your opponents any chance? On the contrary, if I was the one on the ground, I'm afraid you would not even appear, right? Impudent! The Battle Emperor Zhang Quanga's eyes widened in anger. His ears trembled violently as he said furiously, "You are just a mere junior. How dare you speak to me like this? You have no respect for your elders. I am starting to doubt how your previous master taught you." Although the Red Emperor had already left the Shen Wu world and was taken away by the outside world to recuperate, the Battle Emperor still did not want to let the Red Emperor go. At this moment, he did not forget to use words to humiliate the Red Emperor. "Then what do you want?" Long Yu was completely unmoved. He did not react to the Battle Emperor's words at all. He only rolled his eyes and asked. What the Battle Emperor wanted to do was what Long Yu was concerned about. He believed that the Battle Emperor would not dare to do anything to him. Therefore, there was no need for him to engage in a verbal battle here. The best-case scenario was to fight for a chance to be alone with the Battle Emperor. Then, he would take out the 1st Heaven Division's puppet and kill the Battle Emperor. In reality, the Battle Emperor really wanted to be alone with Long Yu. That way, he could kill Long Yu with a single slap and be done with it. However, in front of millions of people, he did not dare to go overboard. Seeing that you are also a young genius, if you are willing to accept a mission and participate in destroying an exotic beast's nest, I will not pursue what you have done today. How about it? The Battle Emperor raised his eyebrows and stared at Long Yu as he asked. Participate in destroying an exotic beast's nest? Long Yu understood that the Battle Emperor was probably looking for a chance to kill him. Now that they were in front of millions of people, the Battle Emperor did not dare to go overboard. However, if Long Yu accepted this mission, he might meet with misfortune during the mission. Battle Emperor, aren't you being a bit too nosy? At this moment, Lei Emperor could not stand the sight of the Battle Emperor. He stood up and said calmly, "These life and death duels were arranged before you stepped onto the stage. Since they are life and death duels, naturally, life and death do not matter. It is unreasonable for you to criticize Long Yu now. When it is possible to forgive, forgive and forget." The Battle Emperor heard this and immediately said seriously, "The alliance of 5 emperors is in need of manpower. Elder Lei Emperor, you are also one of the 5 emperors. You should know how useful the 4 emperor-level experts are to us against the exotic beasts. But now, they have died in the hands of our own people. How can I not be heartbroken?" These words made it seem as if the Battle Emperor was thinking for the alliance of 5 emperors. Moreover, among the millions of people watching, most of them had suffered at the hands of the exotic beasts and agreed with the Battle Emperor's words. Indeed, if Ji Haokong, Guyun Tian, and the others were to deal with the exotic beasts, they would at least be able to destroy a few exotic beast nests, right? Now that they had died in the hands of Long Yu, it was really too worthless. It was understandable that the Battle Emperor wanted Long Yu to participate in the mission to destroy the exotic beast nests. All right, I agree to participate in this mission. Long Yu waved his hand and stopped Lei Emperor from continuing to speak. He smiled at the Battle Emperor and said. Chapter 961. Many people who were close to Long Yu knew that if Long Yu were to jump into the Battle Emperor's trap, he would most likely be tricked to death by the Battle Emperor. After all, the Battle Emperor and the Red Emperor had a grudge against each other, and the Battle Emperor's personal disciple, Tian Xinghe, had a grudge against Long Yu. Just based on what the Battle Emperor and Tian Xinghe had done so far, it was hard to believe that the Battle Emperor wouldn't set up some sort of trap to deal with Long Yu by sending Long Yu on a mission to exterminate a beast nest. There was a 99% chance that Long Yu wouldn't be able to return, however. Just as everyone was thinking that Long Yu would reject the mission, Long Yu actually agreed to the mission proposed by the Battle Varch. This shocked everyone present. In fact, if Long Yu didn't agree, no one would be able to do anything to Long Yu. After all, Lei Emperor and Flame Emperor would definitely stand on Long Yu's side, so how could the Battle Emperor be so arrogant? But since Long Yu had already agreed, even if Lei Emperor and Flame Emperor found it strange, they couldn't say anything. How about it, Battle Emperor, for the sake of the peace of our Shen Wu world, I am willing to participate in the mission you mentioned, which is to exterminate a beast nest. Long Yu then smiled. Tell me, when do I need to gather and when do I need to act? You should know that in less than 10 days, I and a few others have other important matters to attend to, so it's best if you tell me about this mission as soon as possible. Since he said that, the Battle Emperor definitely knew that Long Yu had to go to the Shen Wu world's core in 10 days. This was a rule set by the forces from beyond the heavens, so the Battle Emperor couldn't stop him. If he couldn't take care of Long Yu in 10 days, Long Yu might be noticed by the forces from beyond the heavens. The Battle Emperor would never allow that to happen. Don't worry. This Emperor has already prepared a lot of information regarding the location of that exotic beast's nest. It's all recorded in this jade slip. The Battle Emperor didn't think that Long Yu would fall for it so easily. He was secretly happy, but didn't show it on his face. Instead, he smiled and praised him. Young man, you're not bad at all. You know how to think for the sake of Shen Wu world as a whole, that's worth praising. However, exterminating a beast nest isn't an easy task. Even a peak Emperor expert might fall if they aren't careful. You have to be mentally prepared. Now that he had said this in front of everyone, if Long Yu were to die during the mission, it would have nothing to do with him, the Battle Varch. Everything could only be blamed on Long Yu's own incompetence. I will be careful. Thank you, Lord Battle Varch. Long Yu said that on the surface, but he was thinking about what the Battle Emperor might do. At first, the Battle Emperor definitely wouldn't act himself. But other than the Battle Emperor, there aren't many emperors in Shen Wu world. Even if there are, they would only be a one-star emperor. And a one-star emperor would definitely be the main force in exterminating the exotic beast nest, so he wouldn't use his full strength to deal with Long Yu. If that's the case, Long Yu's life wouldn't be in danger under normal circumstances. If a peak emperor appeared, Long Yu could easily kill them with a killing move. After all, not everyone is like Gu Yuntian, who has such a powerful body. Space-splitting strike can instantly kill anyone below the level of an emperor in Shen Wu world. If a one-star emperor were to act, Long Yu wouldn't have to worry about being killed at all, because his ability to escape right now was too strong. What Long Yu was thinking was to wait for the Battle Emperor to act himself. And the Battle Emperor definitely wouldn't do it in front of everyone. At that time, Long Yu would only need to play a small trick and he would be able to meet the Battle Emperor alone. At that time, the dolls that the Sky Division gifted to him would come in handy. The Battle Emperor had been scheming to kill Long Yu this entire time. But he didn't know that Long Yu was also scheming to kill him. He didn't think of this at all. He was one of the 5 emperors, the great 3-star emperor. How could a mere Long Yu kill him? It was already very difficult for Long Yu to not die this time. The Battle Emperor didn't think of too many other things, and this gave Long Yu a chance to plan carefully. The operation will begin tomorrow morning. We will depart from the alliance of 5 emperors' teleportation array. Do you want to bring your friends along? The Battle Emperor smiled faintly and asked. It seemed like he really cared about Long Yu. However, Long Yu could see the hidden killing intent under his smile. No need. I can handle this kind of operation alone. Long Yu left the battle stage and took the Jade Scroll from the Battle Emperor's hand. He looked at the contents of the Jade Scroll. This Jade Scroll recorded the specific plan for tomorrow's operation. It seemed like the Battle Emperor had already prepared everything. The reason why he came so late was just to act as an insurance. Originally, the Battle Emperor might have thought that Long Yu would definitely die in the life and death battle. However, Long Yu actually survived. Since that was the case, he would come out and force Long Yu to participate in the mission of exterminating the exotic beast's nest. He would then tamper with the mission. Anyway, the Battle Emperor had already arranged a series of killer moves for Long Yu. He wasn't afraid that Long Yu would survive. If Long Yu died in the process of exterminating the exotic beast's nests, even the forces from beyond the heavens wouldn't say anything about it. The Battle Emperor gave Long Yu the Jade Scroll, turned around and left with Tian Xinghe. Before Tian Xinghe left, he looked at Long Yu as if he was looking at a dead man. However, Long Yu completely ignored him. Tian Xinghe was just a clown. Long Yu didn't care about him at all. As long as he killed the Battle Emperor, he believed that many people would want to kill Tian Xinghe. Long Yu, you are really too rash. Before Long Yu could even turn his head, a clear female voice with a hint of reproach came over. It was the direct disciple of the Thunder Emperor, Yi Ziwei. Yi Ziwei walked forward and frowned. Don't you know that the Battle Emperor wants to kill you now? You actually jumped straight into his trap. How stupid! Long Yu turned around and looked at the absolute beginning thunder seal on Yi Ziwei's forehead. He instantly smiled. Lady Yi, are you worried about me? Don't worry. It won't be that easy for the Battle Emperor to kill me. I am a man who brought your master, Lord Lei Emperor, out of the 9 Nether Palace alive. Who knows what kind of dog shit luck you have? Yi Ziwei rolled her eyes. But the Battle Emperor is different. I heard that he holds grudges. Anyone who offended him in the holy city of the 5 emperors has been chased out of the 5 emperors' holy city by him. No one knows if they are dead or alive. The Red Emperor heavily injured him before. He won't let you off. Although the Battle Emperor won't take action personally, he has countless minions. If he sends any one of them, you probably won't be able to resist. Not to mention, he might have done something during the operation. What if the exterminating the exotic beast's nests were just a trap? Now that I've promised him, there's no point talking about this. I have to go back and prepare. Long Yu didn't want to talk too much with this girl. After all, he couldn't tell her that he had a trump card. Hey, if you're not confident, I'll go with you. Yi Ziwei reached out and pulled Long Yu back. She said expectantly, You see, if you're alone, it'll be easy for him to set you up. But if I'm with you, he definitely won't dare to do anything to you. It seemed like this girl was very interested in Long Yu. Of course, Long Yu believed that this girl definitely didn't have romantic feelings for him. It was a kind of curiosity and exploration of the unknown. After all, Long Yu had always been too mysterious. Yi Ziwei had always been very curious about him. Long Yu was the only person who had defeated Yi Ziwei in the Emperor Realm competition. Just this point alone was enough to make Yi Ziwei curious about him. No need. In the face of Yi Ziwei's request, Long Yu directly refused. He didn't want to bring along such a burden. Although Yi Ziwei had stepped into the Emperor Realm, her battle strength was definitely not as good as the current Long Yu. Why would Long Yu bring along another person when he could solve this problem alone? Moreover, if a Battle Emperor were to take action personally, why would he care about Yi Ziwei's existence? He would definitely want to kill Yi Ziwei as well. When that time comes, would Long Yu let Yi Ziwei know the secret of the First Sky Division's puppet? Of course not. Long Yu had a secret. It was this secret that made him not need anyone to accompany him on this trip. However, Long Yu seemed to have underestimated Yi Ziwei's determination. Why are you so stubborn? Yi Wei suddenly snatched the jade slip from Long Yu's hand and glanced at its content. She then harumphed and said, "All right, I got it. I will set off with you tomorrow morning. Don't worry, I have already stepped into the Emperor realm. I won't be a burden to you." In order to understand Long Yu's secret, this Yi Wei had put in quite a bit of effort. However, this caused Long Yu to be a little unhappy. Why was this last so stubborn? He clearly didn't need anyone to accompany him. Even if he wanted someone to accompany him, he would definitely ask Shi Yengwu and not Yi Wei. All right. Long Yu glanced at the primordial thunder seal on Yi Wei's forehead. Since this girl was already like this, he couldn't possibly refuse. However, in this case, she shouldn't blame Long Yu for having designs on the primordial thunder seal. Was Long Yu's secret that easy to uncover? Yi Wei was so stubborn that she would definitely pay the price for her actions. Although Long Yu had obtained the 9 underworlds mark and would definitely surpass everyone in the divine battle world in the future, the primordial thunder seal was still the strongest battle weapon in the world. The power of the primordial thunder seal in the 9 underworlds realm definitely couldn't compare to Long Yu, who had completely mastered the 9 underworlds mark. However, once the primordial thunder seal was fully awakened, it would be a powerful weapon in the beyond heaven world. Long Yu still remembered the young man called He Ju of the heavenly twin cranes. He had used the primordial ice seal to kill 2 opponents of the same level as him, and even withstood the power of 2 endless battle weapons. That kind of power could only be described as terrifying. The primordial thunder seal was definitely more destructive than the primordial ice seal. One could only imagine how powerful Yi Wei's primordial thunder seal would be once it awakened. Unfortunately, Yi Wei still didn't know that the primordial thunder seal was a type of primordial divine battle weapon, nor did she know what the primordial 5 elements were. Chapter 962. A battle of life and death that involved the entire 5 emperors' holy city ended with Long Yu's complete victory, which was talked about by quite a few people. Furthermore, Long Yu even agreed to go and destroy the alien beast nest, which was even more praiseworthy. It was common knowledge that exterminating a beast's lair was an extremely dangerous operation because no one knew what level of beasts resided in the lair. There might be ordinary emperor-level beasts, but there might also be some low-level sovereign monarchs. Furthermore, in the middle of the battle, there might even be stronger alien beasts teleporting through the spatial tunnel. That would be a huge blow to the people who are destroying the alien beast nest. Since ancient times, many emperors of Shenwu world have died in the process of destroying an alien beast nest. And Long Yu is still young, so there's no need for him to risk his life. If the current Long Yu goes into closed-door cultivation, he'll definitely become one of the strongest combatants of Shenwu world once he reaches Emperor realm. But Long Yu chose to destroy an alien beast nest. To normal cultivators, Long Yu's decisiveness was something they all admired. As for the battle emperor, no one felt that there was anything wrong with what he said. It was true that the death of 4 great emperors was a huge loss to Shenwu world, so it was normal for Long Yu to accept the mission. After Long Yu accepted the mission from the battle emperor, the several million people went back to the holy city of the 5 emperors. As for Long Yu, he didn't go back. Instead, he and Shi Yengwu used balanced control to hide themselves and returned to the ancient Azura Palace. Although Long Yu had a trump card, he still needed to plan for tomorrow's operation. Especially since Yi Wei would be following him, he needed to make some preparations. Early the next morning, Long Yu arrived at the entrance of the sacred tower alone and saw Yi Wei, who had been waiting there for a long time. "Long Yu, you're here." Yi Wei's eyes lit up as soon as she saw Long Yu and walked up to greet him. She had been waiting for Long Yu for a long time. After all, she was afraid that Long Yu would leave her behind and go exterminate the alien beast nest by himself. Yi Wei had always been curious about Long Yu. She felt that her absolute beginning thunder seal was already strong enough. Even until now, as long as she used it, There had never been a martial cultivator in the same realm as her who could block it. However, Long Yu seemed to be able to easily block it. The 9 jet-black spatial cracks that extended out had left an exceedingly deep impression on Yi Ziwei. After all, she had once been seriously injured by this move. Later on, Long Yu gave her some medicinal pills to heal her injuries. It could be said that the relationship between the two of them became closer. However, Long Yu did not tell Yi Ziwei some of his secrets in the end. This made Yi Ziwei more and more curious. Finally, at this moment, she wanted to follow Long Yu to exterminate the alien beast nest even if she was beaten to death. Where are the people from the battled arch? Are they not here yet? Long Yu looked left and right and asked. They just arrived and are waiting at the teleportation array level of the sacred tower. Let's go together. After Yi Ziwei finished speaking, she led Long Yu into the sacred tower. Then, she formed a hand seal and teleported to the teleportation array level of the sacred tower with Long Yu. At the teleportation array level of the sacred tower, there were 2 cabinet elders from the alliance of 5 emperors guarding it. At this moment, other than the cabinet elders guarding the teleportation array level, there were many other people, including the battled arch. Sir Battled Arch, I didn't think that you would personally take part in this operation. This junior is really honored to be able to fight alongside you. Long Yu saw the Battled Arch and immediately said. There were many elders from the alliance of 5 emperors in the teleportation array. Even the Tianxiang imperial capital that Long Yu knew was there. At this moment, they smiled at Long Yu as a greeting. With so many elders, it was impossible for all of them to be on good terms with the Battled Arch. Many of them were here to send the people off. After all, this operation to exterminate the alien beast nest could be a life-threatening operation, and they might not be able to return. This operation to exterminate the alien beasts was extremely important to the alliance of 5 emperors. Because if this operation was successful, they would be destroying the largest stronghold of the Earth God race alien beasts in the Shenwu world. Therefore, there were a total of 58 people from the alliance of 5 emperors participating in this operation. As for how many of them belonged to the Battled Arch, Long Yu didn't know. The reason why Long Yu first said that he could fight alongside the Battled Arch was obviously because he wanted the Battled Arch to go with him. That way, the Battled Arch would be more likely to attack him secretly. Only when the Battled Arch found a secluded place to attack Long Yu would Long Yu have the chance to use the Heavenly Division puppets to kill the Battled Arch. Otherwise, if it was exposed, it wouldn't benefit Long Yu at all. In the Jade Scroll that the Battled Arch gave to Long Yu, it didn't mention that the Battled Arch would be going personally. As soon as he heard Long Yu's words, the Battle Thearcha's face instantly darkened. Who said that he was going to exterminate the alien beast nest together? The leader this time was only a cabinet elder from the alliance of 5 emperors. Don't worry, in order to ensure the success of this operation, if something goes wrong at the crucial moment, I won't just stand by and watch. The Battled Arch said with a sullen face. He could only say this. After all, in order to kill Long Yu, he couldn't expose his own proof of being present. If that happened, it would be troublesome for him if the forces from beyond the heavens tracked him down. He didn't want to cause unnecessary trouble, so he naturally had to be careful. The vanguard has already set off. Now, you are the last 7 out of the 58 people. You are the 8th team. Remember your mission, that is to do your best to kill the alien beasts of the Earth God tribe below the Emperor realm. Don't let them harass the other experts of the alliance of 5 emperors. After the Battled Arch said this, he gestured to Long Yu, Yi Ziwei, and the other 5 cultivators from the alliance of 5 emperors who were participating in this operation. Among the 5, there were 2 beast cultivators and 3 human martial cultivators. All of them were experts in the late Emperor realm and had a high status in the alliance of 5 emperors. Although the 8th team consisted of 7 people, including Long Yu, and their mission was to kill the small fries, it wasn't an easy task. Although the small fries were weak, there were a lot of them. If they attacked like a swarm of bees, even a cultivator in the late Emperor realm would have a hard time. Long Yu secretly glanced at the 5 people who were also in the 8th team. He realized that these 5 people probably weren't from the battle Arch. After all, Long Yu had already killed experts like Ji Haokong and Gu Yuntian in the life and death duel. No matter what, the battle Arch wouldn't send someone in the late Emperor realm to deal with him. Long Yu was very clear that those who would deal with him would mostly be experts who weren't participating in this operation. Most of them would be experts at the same level as the Emperor. If Long Yu was alone, Long Yu would have to use everything he had to defend against the 1-star Emperor. But now that Yi Ziwei was with him, it was much easier. Long Yu didn't think too much about it. He stepped forward with Yi Ziwei and stepped onto the teleportation portal. Along with the other 5 people, they were transported away in front of everyone's solemn eyes. To Long Yu, he had many trump cards up his sleeve. There were too many ways to save his life. If the soldiers came, he'd use a general to deal with them. It would be best if the battle Arch personally acted. That way, Long Yu's goal would be easily achieved. Long Yu, Yi Ziwei, and the other 6 people appeared in a desert. This desert had no end in sight. It was tens of millions of miles away from the holy city of the 5 emperors. Sand and wind swirled in the air, making it difficult to see anything too far away. All they could see was a stretch of yellow sand. Long Yu and the other 6 people appeared on a teleportation portal in this desert. Beside this teleportation portal, there were already 51 people waiting. Including Long Yu, Yi Ziwei, and the other 6 people, there were 58 people participating in this operation. The leader of this operation was a one-eyed brawny man. He had the strength of a 2-star emperor and was one of the cabinet elders of the alliance of 5 emperors. His name was Zhu Tian. His strength was very close to that of the 5 emperors. Such an important operation to exterminate beasts would usually involve Zhu Tian. This person was very experienced in exterminating all kinds of beasts. We can't afford to make any mistakes in this operation. It's a pity that Xing Fa and Dao Jingtian didn't come. If they did, the chances of success would be higher. Zhu Tian looked at Long Yu, Yi Ziwei, and the other 6 people who appeared. He nodded and said in a deep voice, "We have a total of 58 people. Everyone has their own task. When the battle starts, don't forget your own responsibilities. No matter who makes a mistake, it will ultimately lead to the failure of the entire operation. Do you understand?" Everyone nodded to show that they understood. After all, no one would joke around with their lives. If the operation failed, Zhu Tian might be the only one among the 58 people who could leave this place alive. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's start the operation. Everyone move out. Follow me. Zhu Tian nodded. He took the lead and flew into the yellow sand that filled the sky. He rose towards the north and quickly flew out. Long Yu looked towards the north. He could faintly see a few spherical buildings in the sky of yellow sand. They appeared and disappeared from time to time. Without a doubt, those were the fortresses built by the beasts of the Earth God tribe. The 9 Gloom Mark seems to have a special feeling towards this place. Long Yu, Yi Ziwei, and the others followed. At the same time, Long Yu sensed the 9 Gloom Mark in his dantian and couldn't help but ponder. This feeling was as if there was something extremely important to him near this place. The 9 Gloom Mark was something that the Jiuyo Dragon Emperor wanted to rely on after he reincarnated. Now that the 9 Gloom Mark has sensed something important. In other words, there is something nearby that the Jiuyo Dragon Emperor needs after he reincarnated. Long Yu quickly deduced this. However, he still didn't know what the Jiuyo Dragon Emperor needed to appear near this place. This barren desert was located at the northernmost part of the Shen Wu world. A few thousand kilometers further would be the edge of the Sea of Death Aura. What could there be in this place? That's right, this is also the largest gathering place for the beasts of the Earth God tribe. Since the beasts of the Earth God tribe have gathered here, it's most likely that they're looking for their tribe's sacred relic. Could it be that this barren desert contains the sacred relic of the beasts of the Earth God tribe? Long Yu quickly thought of something and couldn't help but pay more attention to it. The strength of the Earth God tribe as a whole definitely surpassed that of the entire Shen Wu world. To be able to become the sacred relic of the entire Earth God tribe, what kind of existence would it be? Chapter 963. Long Yu didn't think too much about it for now. He was almost certain that the Earth God tribe's holy relic was in this desert. However, Long Yu didn't expect to find it now since the Earth God tribe's strange beasts hadn't been able to find it for thousands of years. Of course, now that he had grasped 5% of the 9 nether marks, he could faintly sense the aura of that thing. Presumably, once he grasped more of the 9 nether marks, he would be able to more clearly determine where that thing was. As for now, the most important thing for Long Yu was to deal with the Battle Emperor's murderous intent. If I want the Battle Emperor to attack me personally, I have to survive the first few waves of murderous intent. I wonder who the Battle Emperor has sent to kill me? The corner of Long Yu's mouth curled up. He was certain that the strongest person the Battle Emperor had sent would not be stronger than a 2-star Emperor. It would be rather difficult for a 2-star Emperor to kill Long Yu. In any case, it couldn't be the leader of this operation, Zhu Tian. This person was impartial and had risked his life to exterminate the strange beast. It was impossible for him to help the Battle Emperor do such a thing. In that case, the other 2-star emperors among the 58 people were more suspicious. Long Yu noticed that among the 58 people in this operation, other than the leader, Zhu Tian, there were 2 other cabinet elders from the alliance of 5 emperors. They were both 2-star emperors and were the team leaders of Team 2 and Team 3 respectively. The team leader of Team 2 was a middle-aged woman with the strength of a 2-star emperor. Her name was Tan Shuya. It was said that she was extremely harsh and didn't have many friends in the alliance of 5 emperors. However, it was undeniable that she wasn't weak. She had once stood out in the God Martial Emperor meeting and received 2 chances to challenge the 5 emperors. Unfortunately, she failed both times and could only become a cabinet elder of the alliance of 5 emperors. The leader of the 3rd team was an old man named Su Chen. This person was the spirit array master who built the glorious sun in the holy city of the 5 emperors. He was also one of the cabinet elders of the alliance of 5 emperors. Long Yu now knew that this spirit formation grandmaster Su Chen was related to the Su clan's medicine store. After all, both of them had the surname Su. Moreover, Long Yu had already speculated that the Su clan's medicine store and the glorious sun in's backer were related. This Su Chen was undoubtedly the biggest backer of the Su medicine hall. In this operation, Spirit Array Master Su Chen was also one of the main forces. This was because ordinary attacks couldn't break through the defense of the Earth God tribe's fortress. They could only use some powerful offensive spirit arrays that Su Chen had created. Therefore, the 3rd squad that Su Chen was in could be said to be the vanguard of this operation. If that's the case, it's unlikely that Su Chen and the Battle Arch are here to deal with me. However, Team 2's leader, Tan Shuya, is leading the main force on the battlefield. Logically speaking, it's unlikely that she'll be free to deal with me, Long Yu thought to himself. As he got closer to the Earth God tribe's fortress, he became more and more vigilant. Could it be that the Battle Arch would arrange for someone else to deal with Long Yu? Long Yu was secretly on guard. About an hour later, the Earth God clan's fortresses, which had been faintly discernible, finally became clear. There were several incomparably magnificent buildings, each of which was tens of thousands of feet high, towering into the clouds. Each building was spherical. These were the Earth God tribe's fortresses. They had been reinforced with divine rune crystals, so their defensive capabilities were extremely terrifying. Wow, these Earth God tribe's nests are several times bigger than all the beast nests I've seen before. Among the crowd, some people started whispering. It was obvious that what they saw shocked them. What level of exotic beast would be guarding this kind of exotic beast nest? Some people were a little nervous. If it's the level of the 3-star Emperor or above, we're dead for sure, don't worry. At this moment, the leader of the group, Zhu Tian, spoke in a low voice. According to the scouts who investigated the situation here, there aren't many beasts guarding these nests because they've existed for too long. Moreover, the strongest beast is only at the level of a 2nd-star Imperial Monarch. With our strength, it shouldn't be a problem to annihilate a total of 6 nests. This was the largest base of the Earth God Tribe's beasts in Shen Wu world. Therefore, Zhu Tian was very cautious about this operation. If the scout wasn't a good friend that he had known for many years, he wouldn't have believed it. But since it was the scout's result, there shouldn't be any problems. I hope so. Let's get ready. Elder Su, it's up to you first. The captain of the 2nd Squadron, Tan Xiuya, frowned at the captain of the 3rd Squadron, Su Chen. How much power can your ice-ceiling killing formation display in this desert environment? The old man Su Chen's expression was also serious. I'm afraid that the ice-ceiling killing formation is not suitable to be set up here. I'm preparing to set up a destruction formation. Although my understanding of the destruction formation is not as good as the ice-ceiling killing formation, the destruction formation will display its full power in this environment. Do as you see fit. Inform me when the killing formation is ready. I'll go ahead and take a closer look. After Zhu Tian said that to Su Chen, he led the 8 members of the first team and flew off. Every single one of them hid themselves and concealed their auras as much as possible. The first squadron that Zhu Tian led was the scouting squadron. It was also the squadron with the strongest fighting strength and could be said to be the soul of this operation. After Zhu Tian and the others left, the battlefield immediately fell silent. Everyone hid in the sand that filled the sky, trying their best to hide themselves. They did not want to be discovered by the beasts in the nearby Earth God Tribe's lair. The place where everyone stopped was the most difficult for the beasts to discover them. This location had already been determined before they set off. Once Zhu Tian returned from his investigation, Su Chen's formation should be ready. Then, it would be time for the official operation. Waiting was the most boring thing. Long Yu and Yi Ziwei were very close to each other. Even so, the yellow sand continued to dance in the air between them. It was obvious how violent the sand was. If an ordinary person came to a place like this, they would probably suffocate to death after being buried under the sand in less than 2 hours. Suddenly, after approximately the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, Long Yu's heart suddenly became alert. He could feel an extremely dense killing intent rushing towards him and the others from behind. Be careful, Miss Yi. There might be danger. Long Yu reminded Yi Ziwei. Yi Ziwei furrowed her brows and nodded. She looked at Long Yu and said, I also feel that something is wrong. It's just too quiet around here. We haven't seen a single beast until now. This is too strange. I remember when we were exterminating the beast nests in the past, we could sense the aura of the beasts from far away. We would also encounter small patrol teams of beasts. At this moment, a wall of earth suddenly rose from behind them. In the desert, the yellow sand surged. Behind the waiting crowd, an earthen wall rose from the ground, reaching the clouds. The entire earthen wall was countless miles long, with no end in sight. Moreover, it was unknown how thick it was. Accompanied by the slow rise of the yellow sand, the earthen wall quickly rolled up. The earth wall behind them was the first to appear. When everyone was surprised by the situation, they found that on their left and right sides, there were also earth walls that rose from the desert. It was as if they wanted to trap them in the middle, leaving only one path for them, the path that led to the Earth God Tribe's beast lair. What's going on? Elder Su, what is this mud wall? Is it part of the plan? Or have we been discovered by the beasts? Could it be that we've fallen into an ambush by the beasts? No one had seen such a situation before. They immediately panicked. A one-star sovereign emperor immediately blasted an emperor's path divine ability at the earthen wall behind him. The terrifying power of the move completely blew up the surrounding yellow sand, but the earthen wall that had risen from the ground did not budge at all. It was indestructible. This is an earth wall reinforced by divine text crystals. It seems that we have fallen into an ambush. With a single glance, Long Yu could tell that the 3 earthen walls were reinforced with divine rune crystals. Moreover, the construction style was completely in the style of the Earth Divine tribe. He could see that the 3 earthen walls were all engraved with strange patterns. These patterns were the divine runes that the Earth Divine tribe's beasts had mastered. Ambush? How is this possible? The leader of Team 2, Tan Xiuya's face suddenly darkened. She had experienced countless battles, but she had never encountered a situation like this. They had actually been ambushed by a group of beasts. However, she had no choice but to believe it now, because right in front of them, in the direction of the Earth God tribe's nests, a dense horde of Earth God tribe's strange beasts had appeared. The grayish-brown balls formed a formation, and there were tens of thousands of Earth God tribe's strange beasts charging at them. We have really been ambushed. Everyone, prepare for battle. Protect Elder Su and complete his formation. The strongest person present, who was also the leader of Team 2, Tan Xiuya, immediately made a decision. She immediately issued an order and led the entire Team 2 to attack. At this moment, the back, left, and right of the group were all blocked by incredibly tall earthen walls. These earthen walls actually had the ability to block out the power of spatial divine characters, so they could only choose to fight with their lives on the line. There was no way they could escape. In front of them, thousands of Earth God tribe beasts were charging towards them. Facing this situation, everyone could only fight with their lives on the line. Even Yi Ziwei, who was quite confident before they set off, could not help but feel a little flustered at this moment, because the number of opponents was simply too many. Anyone in such a situation would have the feeling of being caught like a turtle in a jar. Not to mention Yi Ziwei, even Long Yu was a little flustered. Fortunately, Long Yu immediately tried it and found that the 9 Serenities mark could still use the unique spatial power of the 9 Serenities realm. With this, he was relieved. Even if something unexpected happened, he could escape at any time. He could directly leave the Shen Wu world and head to the void of the 9 Serenities realm. No one could catch him. This was the biggest reason why Long Yu dared to jump into the Battle Emperor's trap. But now, both his plan and the Battle Emperor's plan seemed to have gone wrong. They had been ambushed by the Earth God tribe beasts. Chapter 964. There was no way Long Yu would run away without a fight. Although he had a way to escape, it was something he kept for himself at the last moment. He wouldn't use it to save everyone here. After all, some of them might be the lackeys of the Battle Emperor. Following the leader of the second team, Tan Xiuya, Long Yu and Yi Ziwei charged forward one after another. Hundreds of Long Yu's ancient shadows were condensed, forming an extremely powerful force that charged directly into the thousands of Earth God's strange beasts in a certain direction. Every primordial shadow would unleash the dragon breath of the 9 underworlds after charging into the horde of Earth God race beasts. With the Emperor Dao's divine arts, it was extremely easy to deal with these beasts that were only at the divine secret realm, king realm, or emperor realm at most. Almost every breath of the dragon breath of the 9 underworlds could kill dozens of beasts. Yi Ziwei's body exploded with lightning as she charged into the strange beasts. She was as bright as lightning in the dark, killing countless strange beasts as if she was slaughtering chickens and dogs. The other martial cultivators, including Tan Xiuya, were facing these strange beasts of the Earth God tribe as if they were slaughtering them. There was no pressure at all. Each of them activated their defensive barriers and went on a killing spree. It seemed like the whole scene was completely one-sided. However, these weak strange beasts weren't the only ones in the strange beasts. Suddenly, a group of late Emperor Realm's strange beasts appeared among the tens of thousands of Earth God Tribe's strange beasts. They rushed out from the yellow sand that covered the ground and immediately messed up everyone's formation, causing them to be separated. Long Yu and Yi Ziwei were also separated by two late Emperor Realm's strange beasts. Each of them fought a late Emperor Realm's strange beast, but it wasn't too much pressure for them. In just 3 breaths' time, Long Yu's body was covered in the 9 underworld's divine runes. The 5-colored siphon totem rotated around him, absorbing the attacks from the strange beasts around him. Draconic breath of the 9 underworlds was blasted out by Long Yu towards the late Emperor Realm Earth God Beast. Even though the Earth God Beast was known for its defensive capabilities, it still couldn't withstand the draconic breath of the 9 underworld. It had no choice but to retreat, leaving Long Yu's attack range. At this moment, countless Earth God Beasts were surrounding him, making it impossible for Long Yu to pursue. Although Long Yu could defeat the late Emperor Realm's strange beasts, he couldn't catch up to them and kill them. But right now, Long Yu didn't need to kill that many strange beasts. There were too many strange beasts for him to kill. He just wanted to hold on and see what was going on. If the Battle Emperor's men want to make a move, it should be now, right? Long Yu guessed as he defended against the attacks of the strange beasts around him. At the same time, he was also on guard for any possible assassination. But no matter how long he waited, the Battle Emperor's men didn't come. This made Long Yu a little confused. Could it be that the Battle Emperor didn't have anything planned for him? No, that's impossible. If the Battle Emperor wanted me to participate in this mission, he must want to kill me. If that's the case, why haven't his men made a move yet? Long Yu frowned. Could it be that the strange beast's trap had disrupted the Battle Emperor's men's assassination plan? Behind them, on the left and on the right, there were 3 earthen walls that blocked off the space. No one from the outside could enter. If the Battle Emperor's men were waiting for an opportunity to strike, then they wouldn't be able to make a move now. After all, the people in this mission were the elites of the Alliance of 5 Emperors. Even though they were facing thousands of strange beasts, they didn't panic. They quickly stabilized the situation. Even if the late Emperor Realm's strange beasts rushed out, they wouldn't be able to cause too many casualties. Everyone, follow me and rush out. As long as we open the spatial barrier, we'll be safe. Tan Shuya's voice was extremely loud, and it spread across the entire battlefield. Everyone seemed to have found their backbone, and began to move towards Tan Shuya. Right at this moment, a burst of destructive divine runes exploded from the center of the crowd. It was the 2-star Emperor and Array Master Su Chun. The destruction formation under their feet was finally completed. The annihilation array was instantly activated, and a terrifying force swept out in all directions. Cracks appeared on the sandy wilderness and spread out in all directions. All the strange beasts of the Earth God race that it came into contact with were devoured and destroyed by these cracks. Even the people from the Alliance of 5 Emperors couldn't help but carefully avoid the power of the destruction formation. Because everyone's cultivation wasn't weak, they easily dodged it. But the thousands of strange beasts of the Earth God tribe weren't so lucky. On one hand, they were too weak, and on the other hand, they were too densely packed together. Even if they wanted to dodge, they couldn't, causing the entire battlefield to become a mess. The destruction formation activated the destructive divine runes in the air and instantly released a terrifying destructive force. Su Chun killed thousands of Earth God mutated beasts on the spot with just this one move. The remaining ones were the Earth God mutated beasts with decent strength and were able to hold on, or they were lucky enough to slip through the net. As the strongest array master of Shen Wu world, Su Chun was able to play a huge role in the process of exterminating strange beast nests. Just like now, as long as he had enough time, he could kill most of the low-level strange beasts in a single move. As for the mid to late Emperor Realm strange beasts, without the advantage of numbers, they weren't much of a threat to the group. Kill! Long Yu didn't hesitate at all and used his shadow kill technique to turn some of the shadows in the surrounding sandstorm into black blades that instantly killed a late Emperor Realm's strange beast. The black blades were aimed at the strange beast's weak point and killed it instantly. Looking at the entire battlefield, Long Yu was the only one who could kill an Earth God's strange beast in a single move. Even the 2-star Emperor Tan Shuya couldn't kill a late Emperor Realm's strange beast in a single move. This was because the strange beast's defense was just too strong. Unless their weak point was hit, their body was like a turtle's shell that couldn't be broken. Su Chen's destruction formation activated, killing countless strange beasts and calming down the battlefield. The alliance of 5 emperors also breathed a sigh of relief as they found their targets and began to deal with the mid to late Emperor Realm's strange beasts. But before they could even finish off their opponents, a large group of powerful auras appeared from the ground. Strange beasts of the Earth God tribe once again broke through the ground and charged at the group. The Earth God clan's cosmos beasts that had appeared this time were actually a total of 10 first-star Imperial Monarch Realm cosmos beasts, and they were led by 2 second-star Imperial Monarch Realm cosmos beasts. The 2 2-star Monarch mutated beasts charged towards Su Chen and Tan Shuya. Obviously, they knew that these 2 were the key. As for the other 1-star Monarch mutated beasts, they found their own opponents and started to suppress the members of the 5 Emperors Alliance. This sudden scene shocked the alliance of 5 Emperors. So many Emperor-level strange beasts, how was this possible? I wonder how Zhu Tian is doing now. Didn't Zhu Tian's friend say that this place is very safe and there aren't many strong strange beasts? Why are there so many Emperor-level strange beasts here? Immediately, someone cried out in surprise. Obviously, he had some doubts. Up until now, Zhu Tian and the first scout team had not appeared again. No one knew where Zhu Tian and the others were. Were they ambushed like them? Or were they on their way back? Or were there some other possibilities? No one had the time to think carefully, because an even more intense battle was about to begin. Facing 10 1-star Emperor-level strange beasts, if they didn't give it their all, they might be completely annihilated here. Long Yu was also blocked by a 1-star Monarch mutated beast. This mutated beast exuded a desolate aura. It had comprehended a type of desolate source divine rune. Its ball-like body rumbled over, directly smashing into Long Yu. It was like a giant meteor falling from the sky, bringing with it an unstoppable momentum. To this strange beast, Long Yu was just a shrimp. Late-stage Emperor Realm? He was too weak. Therefore, this strange beast didn't seem to use any powerful technique. It directly crashed towards Long Yu with its momentum, wanting to kill Long Yu instantly. However, this strange beast had miscalculated. Although Long Yu was only a late-stage Emperor Realm martial Dao cultivator, it wasn't that easy to kill him. 8 trigrams Heaven Suppression suppress. Long Yu had already prepared an 8 trigrams Heaven Suppression Divine Chain when the situation changed. At this moment, it suddenly activated. 8 different colored light pillars directly suppressed the 1-star Emperor-level strange beast. Long Yu had 3 breaths time. Dragon Bone Break. Long Yu raised his hand and summoned the Dragon Bone Pagoda. He instantly activated the Dragon Bone Break. The entire Dragon Bone Pagoda immediately rotated at high speed and swept towards the Earth God's strange beast at a terrifying speed. Moreover, it was aimed at the weakest spot on its body. The Earth God's strange beast couldn't move at all after being suppressed by the 8 trigrams Heaven Suppression Divine Chain. It could only watch as the Dragon Bone Pagoda crashed into the weakest spot on its body, creating a small pit. This physical body is indeed powerful. As expected of a 1-star Emperor, Long Yu's heart skipped a beat. He didn't hesitate and continued to use the Dragon Bone Break twice. The impact of the Dragon Bone Break 3 times directly heavily injured the Earth God's strange beast. Although it didn't kill it, it had at least reduced its combat strength by more than half. The one-star Emperor's strange beast that had broken free from the 8 trigrams heaven suppression divine chain became extremely furious. The aura of the desolate divine characters spread from its body and instantly enveloped Long Yu. Immediately after, its body glowed with a green light. The weak spot that Long Yu had injured actually began to recover rapidly. It was completely healed in the blink of an eye. This technique, Long Yu's heart skipped a beat. He knew that it would be impossible for him to kill this strange beast unless he summoned the one-star Emperor-level Heavenly Division puppet. Even the 9 Abyss Divine Formation wouldn't be able to kill this thing instantly. Right at this moment, Long Yu heard an exclaim from the side, and his expression changed slightly. He glanced to the side and saw that Yi Ziwei had been struck by a first-star Imperial Monarch from the Earthly God clan, and her delicate figure was blasted flying before falling onto the desert. It's about time to leave. Long Yu knew that he couldn't do much with his current strength. It was time to run. Of course, he still had to bring Yi Ziwei with him before he left. Chapter 965. Long Yu did indeed covet Yi Ziwei's Genesis Thunder Seal. However, he also knew that if he wanted to be on good terms with Yi Ziwei to the point where she would willingly hand over the Genesis Thunder Seal, it would be harder than ascending to the heavens. Now that there was a chance, of course, Long Yu would fight for it. Long Yu couldn't bring himself to deceive the other party's feelings. However, if Yi Ziwei owed Long Yu too many favors, Long Yu would still fight for her absolute beginning Thunder Seal, even if he had to be thick-skinned. Path of the 9 Nether. Even though all the space attribute divine characters in the entire space were sealed, Long Yu used his 7th divine ability, the high-grade divine ability, Path of the 9 Nether. He directly broke through the spatial seal and teleported to the place where Yi Ziwei was knocked down. This scene stunned the Earth God tribe's strange beasts that were fighting against Long Yu and Yi Ziwei. Obviously, they didn't expect someone to be able to use spatial teleportation in this situation. However, the 2 strange beasts quickly flew towards Long Yu and Yi Ziwei. The aura of the desolate divine characters spread out from their bodies. It was as if ancient creatures had descended, and their auras were incomparably terrifying. At this moment, Long Yu only briefly checked on Yi Ziwei's injuries. He discovered that she had only fainted and hadn't suffered too many injuries. With the healing elixirs that Long Yu had on him, he could easily heal her. The most important thing now was to bring Yi Ziwei away from this place and escape the encirclement of the Earth God tribe's strange beasts. Take it. Long Yu fed a healing elixir into Yi Ziwei's mouth. Then, he activated the 9 Nether mark in his dantian and began to condense the special spatial energy in the surrounding space. This spatial energy was a special spatial energy that belonged to the 9 Nether realm. Only the Geo Dragon Emperor himself, or those who possessed the 9 Nether mark, could use it. There was only one 9 Nether mark in this world, and that was the one in Long Yu's body. 9 Nether Heavenly Light. Balanced control. Long Yu discovered the 2 one-star Emperor-level exotic beasts were charging at him. He immediately used the 9 underworld's heavenly light, shrouding the entire area in pitch-black fog. Afterwards, he used balanced control, concealing his and Yi Ziwei's auras. At this moment, Long Yu and Yi Ziwei seemed to have completely disappeared from the scene. Not to mention a 1-star Emperor, even a 5-star Emperor cultivator with extremely sensitive senses might not be able to detect Long Yu and Yi Ziwei. Spatial teleportation. The 2 strange beasts of the Earth God clan were like headless flies, swaying randomly in the 9th underworld heavenly light. In less than 3 breaths, Long Yu had activated enough special space power to carry Yi Ziwei and step into the newly formed space transmission channel with her. The 2 figures suddenly disappeared from where they were. Then, the 9 underworld's heavenly light was completely dispersed by the 2 strange beasts of the Earth God clan. However, they had lost track of Long Yu and Yi Ziwei. This made them quite confused. However, the battle was still very intense. The two strange beasts of the Earth God clan didn't have time to care about where Long Yu and Yi Ziwei had gone. No one knew that Long Yu had left with Yi Ziwei. Su Chun, Tan Shuya, and the others watched Long Yu and Yi Ziwei being chased by the two one-star Emperor-level exotic beasts. They wanted to help them, but they were held back by their respective opponents. When the 9 underworlds' heavenly light dissipated, Long Yu and Yi Ziwei's figures had completely disappeared. This made many people's hearts sink. It seemed that Long Yu and Yi Ziwei were already dead. Moreover, there was not even a corpse left. Divine Array. Heavenly Light. At this moment, Su Chen raised his hand. The infinite power of the Divine Array condensed in his hand and formed a colorful light. It suddenly shrouded the bodies of the strange beasts of the Earth God clan. This was a Divine Array technique. Although it was only a 5th-grade magical power, it played a great role at this moment. The strength of the strange beasts of the Earth God clan was all weakened by the Divine Array. Then, the pressure on everyone was suddenly relieved. However, Su Chen didn't look relaxed at all. This was because he was very clear that the strange beasts had set up this ambush. It was impossible for them to only send out this much strength. If they wanted to escape, it would be extremely difficult. As expected, just as Su Chen was thinking about this, another 2 strange beasts of the Earth God clan jumped out from the ground below the desert. Each of them had an extremely terrifying aura. Both of them had the cultivation strength of the 3-star Emperor. The appearance of these 2 strange beasts of the Earth God clan meant that the situation on the battlefield had completely collapsed. The strange beasts of the Earth God clan had an overwhelming advantage. The people of the Alliance of 5 Emperors would have no ability to resist at all. Su Chun, Tan Shuya, and the others instantly turned pale. However, what shocked everyone was that after these strange beasts of the Earth God clan suppressed them with their absolute strength, they didn't kill any of them. Instead, they drove them together and surrounded them in the middle. Then, a golden passageway gradually appeared in the vast desert, leading them in a certain direction. Why didn't they kill us? I don't know, but it seems like they want us to follow them. All the remaining members of the Alliance of 5 Emperors were a little surprised. This had never happened before. They had destroyed a lot of strange beasts' nests, but they had never communicated with the strange beasts. But now, these strange beasts of the Earth God clan were actually driving them away. Obviously, these strange beasts of the Earth God clan were also intelligent, and their intelligence wasn't low. However, why were these strange beasts of the Earth God clan driving them away? No one knew the answer. Long Yu brought Yi Ziwei with him and activated a special space power. They directly teleported out of the encirclement set by the strange beasts of the Earth God clan through the teleportation portal. However, just as they were teleporting, Long Yu felt that there seemed to be a strange power that affected the destination of their teleportation. It was the power that Long Yu felt when they first arrived at this desert. He guessed that it was the power of the holy relic of the Earth God clan. Long Yu only felt his vision blur. Suddenly, he and Yi Ziwei appeared at the entrance of an incomparably magnificent underground palace. This palace was located in an unknown depth underground. There was a rotten and desolate smell everywhere. It was obvious that no one had been here for countless years. Where is this place? Long Yu's heart sank. He originally wanted to teleport out of the encirclement with Yi Ziwei, but they were affected by the mysterious power and teleported to this underground palace. Why was this happening? However, after Long Yu arrived here, he felt that there seemed to be a sleeping soul that was about to awaken in the deepest part of this palace. That thing gave Long Yu a bad feeling, as if there was a very strong strange beast of the Earth God clan sealed inside. Could it be that the holy relic of the Earth God clan is inside? Will this thing be useful to me? Long Yu immediately made a guess. The intuition that the 9 nether mark gave him was quite accurate. After all, the 9 nether mark was originally something that Jiyo Dragon Emperor wanted to rely on after he borrowed a body to be reborn. Now it had benefited Long Yu. No matter what, since he was already here, Long Yu didn't plan to leave casually. After all, there wasn't any danger for the time being. Even if there was danger, Long Yu believed that he would be able to escape with the help of the 9 Nethermark. As long as he was still in the 9 Nether realm, Long Yu's ability to escape was extremely terrifying. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to stop him from escaping. Even if he couldn't escape, he still had 2 puppets from the First Heaven tribe with him. He could summon a 5-star Emperor's combat puppet. From the jade slip left behind by the Death Envoy, Long Yu knew that as long as an existence had reached the ruler's secret realm, it would be very difficult to step into another's small world. This was because other people's small world would suppress one's own small world, greatly reducing one's fighting strength. Therefore, Long Yu had enough reason to believe that there wouldn't be any existence from the ruler's secret realm in the 9 Nether realm. At most, there would be a 7-star Emperor. With the 2 5-star Emperor puppets, they would be able to hold on for a long time against the 7-star Emperor. Why hasn't this girl woken up yet? Long Yu was ready to move. However, Yi Ziwei, who was in his arms, was a problem. Although Yi Ziwei had completely recovered after consuming the healing pill, she still hadn't woken up. Long Yu didn't know what was going on. Since Yi Ziwei still hadn't woken up, Long Yu could only carry her forward for the time being. Soon, Long Yu sensed the huge and magnificent palace in front of him. He discovered that this palace was built very deep underground. When he raised his head, he could see a dome. It was hard to imagine that there was such a vast space deep underground. Moreover, Long Yu felt that the place he was in seemed to be isolated from the outside world. It seems that I have accidentally entered this space, and this space has a slight connection with the outside world. Moreover, this place doesn't seem to be far from the Earth God race's nest. Who knows, there might be strange beasts of the Earth God race coming here soon. I have to hurry. With his balanced control, Long Yu was very aware of the subtle changes in his surroundings. If there was a holy relic of the Earth God race hidden in this sealed space, it was understandable that the Earth God race hadn't been able to find it after so many years. This underground space was completely sealed by the Jiuyo Dragon Emperor. If it wasn't for Long Yu possessing the 9 Nethermark and accidentally running into this place wouldn't have been discovered even after thousands of years. Now, with Long Yu's entry, the seal of this space seemed to be gradually weakening. If the seal of this place completely disappeared, wouldn't there really be strange beasts of the Earth God race coming in? Chapter 966. Long Yu stepped into this magnificent palace and found that there were some mechanisms set up in the passageway. However, perhaps it was because of the aura of the 9 Nethermark on Long Yu's body, none of these mechanisms were activated. Of course, it was also possible that too much time had passed and these mechanisms were already old and ineffective. Long Yu carried Yi Ziwei and quickly passed through this passageway that was a few miles long and stepped into a small palace. There were actually a few petrified statues in this palace. These statues looked rather strange, like some different forms of demon cultivators. When Long Yu entered this small palace, these statues suddenly seemed to come alive and released an extremely shocking aura. These statues were actually all existences at the level of the Emperor. Moreover, they could sense the arrival of others and thus came to life. This scene gave Long Yu a big shock. Fortunately, he found that the 9 Nethermark contained a special kind of power. This power seemed to be able to control these statues. I'm rich. This place is definitely an escape route that the Jiuyo Dragon Emperor left for himself. Long Yu tried to directly control the movements of the 4 statues and found that it was indeed feasible. In his heart, he was even more certain of his guess. This space was completely a palace that the Jiuyo Dragon Emperor had built for himself when he was still alive. If others came in, there would be many sealed statues of demon cultivators and strange beasts that would fight for him. In this way, even if his martial arts realm was very low after he borrowed this body to be reborn, He could hide in this place to recuperate and slowly cultivate. Then, he could once again become an overlord. Long Yu observed the 4 statues. Among them, there was a statue of a fish head and a human body, a statue of a birdman with wings, a statue of a 6-legged black bear, and a statue of a beetle. These 4 statues, under Long Yu's control, kept moving and even began to attack each other. However, they were quickly ordered by Long Yu to stop attacking each other. After all, these statues could be controlled by the 9 Nethermark and were one of Long Yu's killer weapons. The 4 statues all had the power of a 1-star emperor. If they were to fight head-on, Long Yu would not be a match for any of them. I wonder how many of these statues there are in this palace. If I were to recruit all of them, wouldn't my battle prowess be terrifying? Long Yu thought to himself. However, he was soon disappointed because he discovered that the 4 statues couldn't leave this small palace. In other words, the 4 statues could only guard this small palace and couldn't command them to go anywhere else. They are only defensive statues. What a pity. Long Yu shook his head and continued forward with Yi Ziwei in his arms. This was because his target was the deepest part of the Grand Palace, not this small hall. After he left the small hall, he stepped into another passageway. The 4 statues that had come to life in the small hall seemed to have been frozen once again, completely petrified. Most likely, when other people arrive, these 4 statues will come to life again and attack the invaders. This place could very well be used by Long Yu as his base. To be able to hide the Earth God race's holy relic in such a place, Jiuyo Dragon Emperor, is quite impressive. Even if the Earth God race beasts that would be suppressed in Shen Wu world found this palace, they wouldn't be able to pass through all the obstacles in this palace and obtain the final Earth God race's holy relic. Jiuyo Dragon Emperor probably never thought that he would fail to reincarnate in this body and instead benefit Long Yu very quickly. Long Yu followed the passageway and arrived at a slightly larger palace. This palace also had 4 statues of different shapes and sizes. All of them were at the level of a 2-star emperor. They could also be controlled by the 9 serenities mark and fight for Long Yu. Long Yu didn't stop and carried Yi Ziwei towards the deepest part of the palace. Just 4 hours after Long Yu stepped into the huge and magnificent palace, the dome above the palace suddenly flashed with the power of spatial divine runes, breaking the spatial seal of the entire underground space. Immediately afterward, a large group of Earth God mutated beasts emerged from the spatial passageway. The ones leading them were all Sovereign Emperor-level mutated beasts. There were several hundred of them, and every single one of them was extremely mighty. Moreover, one could sense the excitement and agitation of these mutated beasts. This wasn't their fault, as the entire Earth God race had been searching for the holy relic for over 10 million years had finally been found by them. How could they not be excited? Following that, a group of a few dozen human and beast cultivators were also brought into this underground space by the Earth God race beasts. From the looks of it, the Earth God race beasts seemed to want these human and beast cultivators to become their sacrificial pawns to test out their traps. They obviously weren't stupid. They knew that a place like this where their holy relic was buried might have a lot of traps. Therefore, Tan Shuyao, Su Chen, and the others, whom they had set up an ambush to capture alive, had all become their puppets, and were treated as trap testers. Among the hundreds of Earth God race beasts, there was actually a 5-star Emperor-level existence. Under the command of this Earth God race beast, one of the 3-star Emperor-level beasts released the aura of desolate divine runes, forcing a 1-star Emperor-level member of the Alliance of 5 Emperors to fly towards the huge palace below. Facing a total of 75 entrances, the beast hesitated for a moment, then directly forced the 1-star Emperor-level member of the Alliance of 5 Emperors into the first passageway. These beasts obviously wanted to test it one by one. Following that, another beast forced another member of the Alliance of 5 Emperors into another passageway. Even Zhu Tian and the others, who had gone to investigate before Long Yu and the others were ambushed, were all captured by the Earth God race beast. There were a total of 51 people, and they were all forced into their own passageways by these beasts. Until now, why didn't these 51 people know what was going on? This operation had been a trap from the beginning to the end. When Zhu Tian was escorted into the 15th passageway, his face was full of anger. Even though he had the abilities of a 2-star emperor, held a high position in the alliance of 5 emperors, and had done many things for the alliance of 5 emperors, he had now become a prisoner of the Earth God race beasts. Moreover, he would be forced into this palace ruins by these Earth God race beasts, and he would be used as cannon fodder to scout the way. I finally understand. The participants of this operation are all people who don't get along with the Battle Emperor, including Su Chun and Tan Shuya. Everyone's existence is of no benefit to the Battle Emperor. I didn't expect the Battle Emperor to set up such a trap and capture all of us. Zhu Tian's heart was bleeding. He didn't think that the Battle Emperor was colluding with the Earth God race beast. After all, they were from different clans, and there was no possibility of peaceful communication. However, most of the information provided by the Battle Emperor was fake. What did he mean by this place being safe? There weren't any powerful Earth God race beasts? To hell with it. Then what was up with these 4-star Emperor and 5-star Emperor level Earth God race beasts? In reality, before they set off, Zhu Tian didn't believe the Battle Emperor, but a good friend of his of many years. It was his good friend who was in charge of investigating the situation in this place and obtaining all the information. Now, it seemed like his good friend was cooperating with the Battle Emperor to lie and deceive them into coming here to die. This is the life of more than 50 people, and every one of them is a pillar of the alliance of 5 emperors. Battle Emperor, you are actually willing to do this. Zhu Tian's hatred for the Battle Larch could be said to be at an extreme level. The entire operation was suggested by the Battle Larch. Initially, he didn't realize that the people participating in the operation were all unrelated to the Battle Larch. Now, from the looks of it, this was all a trap set up by the Battle Larch. Zhu Tian knew that the Battle Emperor might attack Long Yu during the operation, but he didn't expect that the Battle Emperor's target was all of them. Even though Zhu Tian had realized this, he was powerless to reverse the situation. He could only become a tool for the Earth God race beasts to investigate the possible traps in this palace. Now, Zhu Tian could only hope that there weren't any traps in this palace, so that he could survive for a longer period of time. That way, he would have more opportunities to think about escaping. Even though the chances were slim, Zhu Tian wouldn't give up. Even though he had never experienced such a hopeless situation, he had faced many life-threatening situations. He definitely wouldn't give up until the very last moment. Zhu Tian was forced to move forward by a 4-star Emperor Earth God race beast, and he didn't encounter any dangerous situations along the way. However, just as he was moving forward, an extremely terrifying force suddenly exploded from behind him, giving him a fright. He thought that he had stepped into a trap, or that the Earth God race beast was going to attack him. But when he used his probing magic power to extend behind him, he discovered that this wasn't the case. In fact, there were actually 2 pitch-black destructive light pillars that suddenly erupted from the side of the wall and directly blasted that 4-star Imperial Monarch level Earth God beast into pieces. Not even a trace of it was left. Is this the trap in the palace ruins? Zhu Tian's heart raced. The Earth God race beast that was guarding him had been killed. Didn't that mean that he was free now? Of course, he couldn't retreat. After all, there were still other Earth God race beasts guarding outside the palace. However, he wouldn't be forced to explore this dangerous tunnel anymore. Zhu Tian didn't know how the Earth God race beast had triggered that terrifying trap. Hence, he didn't dare to move recklessly until another Earth God race beast stepped into this tunnel. Zhu Tian knew that he couldn't stay where he was. Hence, he carefully ran towards the depths of the tunnel and quickly arrived at a small palace. In this hall, there were 4 statues of different shapes, and they seemed to be very old. Chapter 967. When the 4 statues in the small hall sensed Ju Tian's aura, they instantly came to life like ice thawing. A frightening aura suddenly burst out. They're only at the level of a 1-star emperor. Ju Tian's heart involuntarily shivered when he sensed the aura of the 4 statues. He did not stay where he was and instead moved extremely quickly. Taking advantage of the time before the 4 statues had completely come to life, he quickly passed through the small hall and arrived on the opposite side. Ju Tian was very fast. He had already passed through the hall when the 4 statues had just woken up. They faced an Earth God beast that had entered the hall after Ju Tian. The Earth God clan's Cosmos beast possessed the strength of a 3rd-star imperial monarch, and it could be considered as a formidable existence. However, as soon as it stepped into this small hall, the 4 awakened statues locked onto it, and all sorts of energy that had been dormant for a long time rumbled out. The Earth God race exotic beast was caught off guard and was hit by all kinds of attack. Small cracks appeared on its hard body. In just a brief moment, the 4 awakened statues had injured the Earth God race's strange beast. Even though they were only at the 1st-star imperial monarch realm, when these 4 awakened statues joined forces, they were able to bring forth offensive might comparable to a 3rd-star imperial monarch. Moreover, they cooperated extremely well with each other, and they were capable of both offense and defense. They were extremely powerful. However, the Earth God beast was still a 3-star emperor. The aura of the Baron Divine inscriptions erupted from its body and directly shook the 4 awakened statues away. Then, it chased after Ju Tian, who was nearby. Ju Tian did not stay at the other end of the tunnel for too long. This was because he felt that the 4 statues could not stop the Earth God beast. At this moment, the Earth God beast had indeed broken through the combined attack of the 4 awakened statues. It chased after Ju Tian out of the hall and shook off the 4 awakened statues. As long as it left the hall, the 4 statues would return to their dormancy. They would not chase after it out of the hall. In the tunnel, the Earth God beast chased after Ju Tian again. However, the distance between them grew further and further. This was because Ju Tian's speed was extremely terrifying even though he was only at the level of a 2-star emperor. Very soon, a slightly larger hall appeared in front of Ju Tian. He charged in, and the 4 statues awakened again. However, this time, they were 4 2-star Imperial Lord-level statue creatures. Ju Tian was simply too fast. He streaked across the hall like a bolt of lightning. He basically crossed the hall before the 4 statues could fully awaken. There were already 3 Earth God beasts chasing after him. However, before they could step into the second hall, they triggered a trap along the way. The 3 beasts were suddenly enveloped by a sudden surge of eerie power. Their tough bodies were completely corroded away. This scene gave Ju Tian a huge fright. However, it also gave him some guesses. Could it be that the traps in this majestic palace were purposefully targeted at the Earth God tribe's beasts? That was Ju Tian's guess, but he could not be certain. As a result, he felt very insecure. However, as he continued forward, he saw a figure that gave him a fright. A 3rd hall did not appear in the tunnel ahead. Instead, a figure appeared first. It was Long Yu. Long Yu leaned against the wall of the tunnel. His eyes lit up when he saw Ju Tian, as if he had been waiting for Ju Tian. "Senior Ju Tian, you're here. Come with me." Long Yu had indeed been waiting for Ju Tian here. In reality, Long Yu had already circled around the majestic hall. He had even settled the unconscious Yi Ziwei down. Just now, he sensed the auras of many Earth God beasts appearing in this underground space. Through the 9 Hells mark, he quickly sensed that Ju Tian and the others had been sent to the majestic hall. Obviously, the Earth God beasts treated them as cannon fodder. However, Long Yu already understood that all the traps in the majestic hall were used to deal with the Earth God beast. It was completely useless for the beasts to use Ju Tian and the other members of the Alliance of 5 Emperors as scouts. The ones that deserved to die would still die. The entire palace had a total of 75 entrances, and every single passageway led to the palace's central hall. Along the way, one had to pass through 7 small halls, and every small hall had 4 silent statues that ranged from the 1st-star imperial monarch to the 7th-star imperial monarch realm. The statues at the front were weaker, but towards the back, every statue was equivalent to the 7-star emperor. They were extremely powerful. Even if the earth god beasts at the level of the 7-star emperor came, they would not be able to defeat them. After all, the earth god beast's strength was still suppressed here. The tricks that the Jiuyo Dragon Emperor had left behind were no joke. They would not give the earth god beasts any chance. Long Yu placed Yi Ziwei down and came out to welcome Zhu Tian when he sensed that Zhu Tian and the others had been forced in. Judging from the current situation, Long Yu was certain that Zhu Tian, Su Chen, and the middle-aged woman, Tan Xiuya, were all sacrifices in the Battle Emperor's plan. Since they were the enemy of the enemy, they were on his side. Long Yu naturally had to save them. Without Long Yu, Zhu Tian and the others would definitely be killed in the tunnel even if the earth god beasts could not pass through the hall in the tunnel. Regardless of whether it was the mechanisms or the statues, they became more and more terrifying towards the end. Even if they did not target Zhu Tian and the others, they would definitely die if they were slightly affected. Simply put, without Long Yu's guidance, no one would be able to reach the central hall of the majestic palace. This was the reason why the Jiuyo Dragon Emperor had built this majestic palace. As long as one possessed the 9 underworlds mark, they would be able to control all the mechanisms in the majestic palace. It was a pity that Long Yu only possessed 5% of the 9 underworlds mark. He could not control the mechanisms and statues in other places from afar. He could only make the trip himself. Long Yu, why are you here? Zhu Tian was a straightforward person. When he saw that Long Yu had appeared here, he immediately asked this question. It's hard to say, but all you need to know is that you will definitely be safe here with me. Long Yu smiled and said, I once entered an ancient relic and obtained a mark there. I discovered that I can even control the statues and creatures in this palace with that mark. Of course, Long Yu could not reveal all his secrets to Zhu Tian. It was fine if he casually mentioned it. Anyway, Long Yu only treated Zhu Tian as one of his own. Thus, he wanted to save Zhu Tian's life and had no intention of relying on him. Once he had saved everyone he could, Long Yu would explore the area behind the central hall of the majestic palace alone. The Earth God clan's sacred item should be in the area behind the central hall. Zhu Tian had originally fallen into a hopeless situation. He had not expected to meet Long Yu here, nor had he expected Long Yu to be able to control the things in this majestic palace. He was overjoyed when he heard this. That old thing, the Battle Emperor. If I can return alive this time, I will definitely not let him off easy. Zhu Tian said hatefully, this operation was a trap that the old thing, the Battle Emperor, had single-handedly planned. He sent us here to die. We will definitely have the chance to take our revenge. Long Yu spoke with a deeper meaning. Then, he led Zhu Tian into the depths of the palace. The two of them passed through hall after hall. The statues and creatures kept awakening, but just as Long Yu had said, they were controlled by Long Yu and did not attack the two of them. As for the Earth God clan beasts, they were directly blocked by countless traps. It was impossible to eliminate the traps in this palace with just a few hundred beasts that were at the level of 3 to 5-star Emperor-level beasts. One had to know that the traps could be activated as long as they were charged. Over the past tens of millions of years, the traps had been filled with an endless amount of energy. It was enough to kill thousands of Emperor-level beasts. Soon, Zhu Tian and Long Yu arrived at the central hall of the majestic palace. There was only one entrance to the central hall, which was the 15th entrance. The other 74 entrances of the palace did not lead to this central hall. Instead, there were even more traps set up along the way that led to the 15th entrance. Simply put, There were a total of 307-star Emperor-level statues among the 75 entrances, and they were all guarding outside the central hall. This was definitely an unstoppable force in the Shen Wu world. Long Yu's plan was to first save everyone, then obtain the Earth God clan's holy relic. Finally, he would use the 9 underworld mark to send everyone out. Of course, this plan would not go so smoothly, because the Earth God clan's holy relic was here. Now that the Earth God clan had discovered it, how could they possibly give up? There would definitely be an endless stream of Earth God clan beasts coming here. Even Long Yu didn't dare to imagine what would happen in the end. It was possible that the endless stream of Earth God clan beasts would attract the attention of the forces from beyond the heavens, causing them to send people over. It was also possible that Earth God clan beasts of the ruler's secret realm would appear and kill their way into this grand hall. No matter what, Long Yu had to obtain the Earth God clan's holy relic. Even if the forces from beyond the heavens sent people over, they wouldn't be able to stop Long Yu's plan. When he arrived at the central hall, Zhu Tian merely took a single glance before he was shocked to the extreme. If it was said that the 300 statues of 7th-star imperial monarchs outside the central hall shocked him, then there were actually rows upon rows of statues of 7th-star imperial monarchs within the central hall, and there were over 1,000 of them. As soon as Zhu Tian stepped into the central hall, he discovered that these statues were all under Long Yu's control. Among them, several hundred were guarding an unconscious, delicate body, which was Yi Ziwei. Senior Zhu Tian, you should rest here for now. These statues won't do anything to you. I'll go and save the others first. Chapter 968. There were a total of 56 people participating in the extermination of the exotic beast's nest. However, in the process of fighting the Earth God exotic beasts, several of them had already lost their lives. Another dozen or so had died to the statues and traps when they were forced to explore the magnificent palace. About a day later, Long Yu finally rescued everyone who was still alive. Including Long Yu and Yi Ziwei, there were only 41 people left. Su Chun and Tan Shuya, the two 2-star Emperor-level cabinet elders of the Alliance of 5 Emperors, were still alive. Everyone was placed in the central hall, and they were protected by over 1,000 7-star Imperial Monarch-level statues. Everyone was extremely grateful to Long Yu. Honestly speaking, they all thought they were dead for sure, but they didn't expect to bring Long Yu with them on this trip. It was Long Yu's fortuitous encounter that gave them hope of survival. Everyone, please rest here. I'll search deeper into the palace to see if there are any teleportation arrays or spatial tunnels that can leave this place, Long Yu said to everyone. After Long Yu finished speaking to everyone, he walked towards the back of the central palace alone. The thousands of 7-star Emperor-level statues were left here to protect the remaining 40 people, as well as to restrict their movements. Long Yu didn't want anyone to disturb him when he was searching for the sacred relic. Although he had saved these people, no one knew what they were thinking. After all, the human heart was unpredictable. Naturally, Long Yu wouldn't bring anyone with him when he went to search for the Earth God's sacred relic. The only thing that puzzled Long Yu was that Yi Ziwei still hadn't woken up. He wondered if something had happened to her. However, Long Yu was sure that he had healed all her injuries. As for why she hadn't woken up yet, Long Yu didn't know. After leaving the central palace, Long Yu went straight to the back of the magnificent palace and the throne room. The structure of the magnificent palace wasn't complicated. After the central palace, there was a back hall. There were many precious treasures in the back hall. There were ancient and archaic combat weapons, martial skills, pills, and everything else. These were originally prepared by the Jiuyou Dragon Emperor for himself. Now they all belonged to Long Yu. After entering the back hall, Long Yu looted everything. Unfortunately, not many of these treasures were useful to Long Yu. There was no need for martial skills and combat weapons. Ancient and archaic combat weapons weren't good, but Long Yu didn't need them. especially since the back hall only stored low-grade, medium-grade, and high-grade weapons. There weren't any supreme-grade or supreme-grade weapons. There were quite a few pills here that were very useful to Long Yu. Unfortunately, more than half of the pills had lost their effects due to the passage of time. As for the remaining pills, Long Yu did not dare to casually consume them. Now that the Death Envoy isn't here, who should I look for to identify these pills? Long Yu was quite troubled. Before knowing the effects of these pills, he certainly didn't dare to use them casually. If something went wrong after taking them, it wouldn't be worth it. No matter how he thought about it, Long Yu couldn't think of anyone to identify these pills. In the end, he had to give up. I'm afraid I'll only have a chance to find out what these pills are when I go beyond the sky. Long Yu felt a little regretful about this. Of course, these treasures in the back hall weren't very useful to Long Yu. However, if he brought these treasures to the people of the Northern Snow Empire and the Heavenly Mandate Manor, their effects would be completely different. These things could at least increase the overall strength of Long Yu's friends by at least 10 times. In the back hall, there were also 100 statues of creatures at the level of the 7-star Emperor. Under the command of Long Yu, these statues guarded the back hall loyally and didn't let anyone pass. After collecting all the things in the back hall, Long Yu continued to walk toward the back hall. Behind the back hall was the most important place in the entire magnificent palace, the treasure hall. If Long Yu's guess was right, the sacred relic of the Earth God clan was hidden in this treasure hall. With the existence of the mark of the 9 serenities in Long Yu's body, he was equivalent to the master of the entire magnificent palace. He could do whatever he wanted and control everything in it. It didn't take long for Long Yu to walk from the back hall to the treasure hall. During this time, he sensed that there were several fierce attacks from the beasts of the Earth God clan at the 75 entrances of the magnificent palace. However, it was obvious that the beasts of the Earth God clan couldn't break through this magnificent palace. After only 2 days in this magnificent palace, Long Yu stepped into the treasure hall at the back. He saw a dazzling yellow hexagonal crystal floating on a stone platform in the center of the entire treasure hall. There was no light at all in other places in the magnificent palace. However, in the treasure hall, the dazzling yellow hexagonal crystal in the center was shining like a small sun. This hexagonal crystal is the sacred relic of the Earth God clan? Long Yu suppressed the excitement in his heart. He could feel that the earthen yellow hexagonal crystal contained an endless amount of power. Long Yu sensed that the power of all the beasts of the Earth God clan seemed to originate from this hexagonal crystal. It contained the power of 6 powerful divine characters. One of them was the Desolation divine character, another was the Earth Elemental divine character, and the other 4 divine characters that Long Yu had sensed from other beasts of the Earth God clan. The reason why this thing is said to be the sacred relic of the Earth God clan is because all the power of the beasts of the Earth God clan originates from this thing? Long Yu guessed as he slowly walked towards the center of the treasure hall. He gradually approached the hexagonal crystal. Even though the hexagonal crystal emitted a dazzling light, it couldn't stop Long Yu's footsteps. In next to no time, Long Yu raised his hand and held the hexagonal crystal in his hand. There was no danger. The hexagonal crystal was cold all over. After Long Yu held it, the dazzling yellow light was immediately covered. Although I don't know what use this thing has for me, since the Geo-Dragon Emperor values it so much, I'll keep it first and study it later, Long Yu thought to himself. At this moment, a loud explosion came from the direction of the central hall of the magnificent palace. This explosion caused Long Yu to be startled. After keeping the hexagonal crystal stone, he immediately turned around and flew away. Just as Long Yu expected, the appearance of the sacred relic of the Earth God clan made the beasts of the Earth God clan unable to sit still. The beasts of the Earth God clan who were at the level of the 7-star Emperor arrived at the realm of Hades from God knows how far away. Then, they passed through the space tunnel and arrived at the underground space where the magnificent palace was located. These beasts of the Earth God clan weren't stupid. In fact, they were very smart. They only spent a day to investigate the situation of the 75 entrances. After sacrificing countless cannon fodder, they broke through the 75 entrances and destroyed all the traps and mechanisms. They also blasted the weaker statue creatures into pieces. Just as Long Yu picked up the sacred relic of the Earth God clan, a group of 300 to 400 beasts of the 7-star Emperor level from the Earth God clan rushed into the central hall where Zhu Tian, Su Chun, Tan Shuya, and the others were. Zhu Tian, Su Chun, and Tan Shuya didn't dare to make a move at this moment. They could only lead the people of the Alliance of 5 Emperors and retreat, leaving the thousands of statue creatures in the central hall to deal with the beasts of the Earth God clan. When the 300 to 400 beasts of the 7-star Emperor level from the Earth God clan rushed in, 100 statue creatures were still protecting Yi Ziwei. Another 100 statue creatures were protecting the other 40 people. The remaining 800 statue creatures went forward to stop the beasts of the Earth God clan. Even though the Jiuyo Dragon Emperor had left many backup plans for himself, he still underestimated the importance the Earth God clan placed on their sacred relic. Over 300 beasts of the 7-star Emperor level from the Earth God clan was a huge number to the entire Earth God clan. One had to know that the next step for the 7-star Emperor was the ruler's secret realm, where a small world would be born in his body. With so many beasts of the 7-star Emperor level from the Earth God clan, it was definitely a terrifying force. The Earth God clan had actually sent them out within a day, and they had broken into this magnificent palace. In the central hall, the statue creatures and the beasts of the Earth God clan were completely locked in battle. Even in such a high-level battle, the surrounding walls of the magnificent palace didn't show any signs of being damaged. It was obvious how sturdy the materials used to build the palace were. A terrifying force exploded in the central hall, causing Su Chun, Zhu Tian, Tan Shuya, and the others to tremble in fear. They had never seen a battle of this level before. If a single wisp of the force were to spread and affect them, they would all be turned into ashes in an instant. If it weren't for the 100 statue creatures protecting them, they would have died a few hundred times over. At this moment, they were all thinking about the same thing. Where was Long Yu now? If Long Yu still didn't appear and more beasts from the Earth God clan arrived, the statue creatures wouldn't be able to stop them at all. By then, they would all be finished. I wonder what's in this palace that attracted so many beasts. I've never seen so many beasts of the Emperor level. Furthermore, they're all at the peak of the Emperor level. Zhu Tian murmured as he watched the battle unfold before him in great shock. I hope Long Yu isn't in any danger and that he can find the exit as soon as possible. Tan Shuya said in a deep voice, "This place is probably very important to the Earth God clan. No matter what they want from this place, it's not something we can participate in." That's right. Although such an unprecedented battle is spectacular, it's better for us to stay far away. Su Chun, the Spirit Array Grandmaster, also nodded. Chapter 969. In the central hall of the Grand Palace, the battle between the Earth God's strange beasts and the statue creatures was extremely intense. Just as everyone was feeling uneasy, Long Yu's voice finally came from behind them. "Everyone, come with me, I've found the exit to this place. It's too dangerous here, so we should all leave as soon as possible." Long Yu's urgent voice rang out. Immediately after, his figure appeared within the range of everyone's perception. He opened a stone door and led the crowd to the back. Whether it was Su Chun, Zhu Tian, or Tan Shuya, none of them had any reason to doubt Long Yu. Because if it weren't for Long Yu, all of them would have already died at the hands of the Earth God's strange beasts. They didn't know what the Earth God's strange beasts were trying to find here, but they couldn't care less at this point in time. The most important thing right now was to stay alive. Since Long Yu had found the exit, there was no need for them to stay any longer. Long Yu picked up Yiziwei again, then led everyone towards the back of the palace. He had already created a spatial warp tunnel in the back of the Grand Palace. Using the unique spatial energy sensed by the 9 Serenities mark, he could teleport everyone to a safe corner of Shen Wu world. However, what Long Yu didn't expect was that as soon as he appeared, he would cause all the Earth God's strange beasts to go berserk. The Earth God's strange beasts seemed to have sensed the presence of their holy artifact on Long Yu's body, so they all unleashed their strongest attacks, instantly destroying the statue creatures one after another. Even though these statues were all at the level of the 7-star Emperor, even though the Earth God's strange beasts were heavily suppressed in Shen Wu world, at this very moment, for the sake of their Earth God race's holy artifact, they all went berserk and did everything they could to keep Long Yu here. In just 3 breaths' time, over 100 of the 7-star Emperor's statue creatures in the central hall had been destroyed. Furthermore, just as Long Yu's group was escaping, a terrifying and heavy presence instantly filled the entire underground space. The entire Grand Palace was instantly affected by this terrifying and heavy presence. As if an earthquake was happening, the sturdy materials used to construct the Grand Palace began to crack. What is it? Long Yu and the others were still running back when they felt the entire palace tremble. Immediately after, everyone was enveloped by a terrifying and heavy aura. Clearly, some incomparably powerful existence had descended into this underground space. Has the speculation finally become reality? I'm afraid that the Earth God race's sovereign secret realm expert has arrived. Long Yu's face slightly changed. Fortunately, they would be able to leave soon. Hurry up, don't stop! Long Yu shouted. Very quickly, Su Chen and Zhu Tian, who were walking at the front, saw a teleportation channel. Without thinking, they jumped into it. Following closely behind them were the other members of the Alliance of 5 Emperors. No one dared to stay there for even a breath's time. Everyone entered the teleportation channel in a single file. Long Yu was the last in line. He held Yi Ziwei in his arms and was about to follow the others into the teleportation channel. However, just as he stepped into the teleportation channel, a terrifying force from outside the majestic palace shattered the void and penetrated the teleportation channel. Let's go! With Yi Ziwei in his arms, Long Yu rushed into the teleportation channel. However, he discovered that he and Yi Ziwei weren't teleported to the designated location. Instead, they were teleported to an endless void in the 9 Nether Realm. That strange beast of the Earth God race that descended at the end of the ruler's secret realm actually forcefully changed the direction of Long Yu's teleportation, causing him to not appear in Shen Wu world, but in the boundless void of the 9 Nether Realm, millions of li away from Shen Wu world. Are we safe now? Long Yu wasn't sure. He could imagine that since the Earth God race's sovereign secret realm expert had appeared, it wouldn't let Long Yu go so easily and give up on the sacred relic on Long Yu's body. Long Yu had studied the Earth God race's sacred relic for a bit and discovered that it didn't seem to be of much use to him. However, since the Jiyo Dragon Emperor had placed it so carefully in the palace, it couldn't be useless. Just as Long Yu was about to teleport again with Yi Ziwei, he discovered that all the spatial energy around him had been completely sealed, making it impossible for him to use any form of spatial energy. Even though he had the 9 Nether mark, it was useless against a powerful existence from the sovereign secret realm. A yellow shadow of a strange beast appeared in the endless void not too far away from Long Yu. Its boundless aura swept towards Long Yu, shocking him on the spot. The sovereign secret realm. This was a realm that surpassed the monarch path and the emperor's realm. An existence with such cultivation had a small world inside its body, a small world similar to the 9 Nether realm. An existence at this level could completely crush Long Yu. Long Yu didn't have the slightest chance of resisting it. As the Earth God race's sacred relic appeared, Long Yu's face sank. Should I return the Earth God race's sacred relic to this fellow? However, even if Long Yu took the initiative to hand over the Earth God Race's sacred relic, the Earth God Race's sacred relic wouldn't let Long Yu go, right? No matter what, Long Yu didn't give up on his last hope. He was sure that when the Earth God Race's sacred relic appeared, the people from beyond the heavens wouldn't sit idly by. Otherwise, the beast horde would have already occupied the entire Nine Nether Realm. After all, the Nine Nether Realm belonged to the human race. Even when the Earth God Race's sacred relic appeared not too far away, Long Yu remained calm and composed. Most importantly, he knew that the situation was beyond his control. No matter what Long Yu did, he wouldn't be able to change the final outcome. Right now, Long Yu's life was completely in the hands of the people from beyond the heavens. Roar, roar, roar! The Earth God Race's sacred relic appeared in the void not too far away from Long Yu. Its body emitted a terrifying and heavy aura, and it let out a deep roar. In the next moment, a yellow beam of divine runes shot towards Long Yu. Under the terrifying pressure of the sacred relic, Long Yu couldn't dodge even if he wanted to. He could only watch helplessly as the beam of divine runes shot towards him. If the people from beyond the heavens didn't send any reinforcements, Long Yu would be reduced to ashes in an instant. When the final moment arrived, Long Yu discovered that his guess was right. An ethereal light screen filled with immortal qi appeared in front of Long Yu, protecting Long Yu and Yi Ziwei. It easily blocked the beam of divine runes from the Earth God Race's beam of divine runes. Accompanied by an incomparably faintly discernible aura, a snow-white figure bathed in faintly discernible celestial qi appeared in the endless void. This woman was actually Concubine Yu, whom Long Yu hadn't seen in a long time. Long Yu's eyes widened in an instant. Consort Yu was someone that would always appear in his dreams. The reason why he was reborn into this world was probably because of Consort Yu. Ever since Consort Yu appeared and forged the Netherworld Dragon Blade for Long Yu, she hadn't appeared again. Who would have thought that she would suddenly appear and block the Earth God Race's sacred relic for Long Yu? Earth God Race, how dare you violate the oath? An ethereal thought spread across the battlefield. When Long Yu and the Earth God Race's strange beast heard it, it said, "Since you've come to the human race's territory, don't even think about leaving alive. My race, the sacred relic. Hand over the sacred relic, and I'll die. Otherwise, I'll perish together with you." A heavy thought spread across the battlefield. Long Yu immediately sensed that this was the thought of the Earth God Race's strange beast. His heart couldn't help but tremble. It seemed like the Earth God Race's strange beast was also able to communicate with humans. It was just that he didn't know how it did it. Perish together? How naive. The ethereal thought smiled faintly. In the next moment, the snow-white figure in the dense immortal qi floated into the air. A wave of dense immortal qi burst out, instantly surrounding the Earth God Race's strange beast. It was obvious that both sides were fighting, but with Long Yu's current level, he had no idea what was happening on the battlefield. Even a ruler's secret realm existence's strength would be greatly suppressed in a small world like the Nine Nether Realm. But even so, they could still kill countless existences on the level of the Seven-Star Emperor in an instant, not to mention a small shrimp like Long Yu. Long Yu couldn't sense the situation on the battlefield. All he knew was that the battle between Consort Yu and the Earth God Race's strange beast was giving off terrifying shockwaves. If they were fighting on Shenwu World, the entire Shenwu World might be destroyed. A few moments later, Long Yu felt as if a layer of immortal qi had enveloped him and Yi Ziwei, making them feel as if they didn't exist. Consort Yu is helping me and Yi Ziwei hide our tracks? Is she afraid that Yi Ziwei and I will be accidentally injured? Long Yu's heart skipped a beat, but he soon realized that wasn't the case. Because he noticed that there were many other powerful existences on the battlefield, and each of them was at least at the ruler's secret realm level. They were hiding in the void nearby, and with Long Yu's perception, he couldn't detect them at all. Long Yu didn't know what these existences were, and didn't know when they came. He could only vaguely sense their auras through the immortal chi that Consort Yu had created. Long Yu knew that it was time for him to watch the show, because in this kind of situation, there was nothing he could do. The battle between Consort Yu and the Earth God race's strange beast soon came to an end. Just as Consort Yu had said, the Earth God race's strange beast was too naive. Strange beasts that came to the human race's territory didn't have the qualifications to be arrogant at all. In just the time it took for an incense stick to burn, the Earth God race's strange beast was blasted into pieces by the immortal chi. It lost its life, and the small world inside its body was completely destroyed. Even strange beasts from the ruler's secret realm were extremely weak in front of stronger existences. This made Long Yu want to know, what kind of power did Consort Yu have? Chapter 970. Long Yu held the unconscious Yi Ziwei in his arms as he stared anxiously at the powerful existences that appeared in the void around him. Every single one of them was a terrifying expert from the sovereign's secret realm. 1, 2, 3. A total of 7 experts from the sovereign's secret realm. Did they come here because of the Earth God tribe's beast? Long Yu frowned. But if they came here to deal with the Earth God tribe's beast, why didn't they appear earlier? Why did they let Consort Yu deal with the beast by herself? Long Yu didn't make the slightest sound. Even with Consort Yu's immortal chi covering him, he still used the balanced control secret art to conceal his and Yi Ziwei's auras. With this double insurance, none of the experts from the sovereign's secret realm noticed Long Yu's presence. Consort Yu, what are you doing in our Lushan clan's territory? One of the experts from the sovereign's secret realm snorted coldly. The moment he appeared, he released a wave of pressure towards Consort Yu in an attempt to intimidate Consort Yu. Unfortunately for him, Consort Yu didn't put him in her eyes at all. The Nine Netherworld is the origin of our Nine Nether clan. Even though it's under the jurisdiction of your Lushan clan, you're too disappointing. Even a sovereign beast was able to barge into this place. Consort Yu spoke indifferently. Her entire body flickered in and out of existence, and she exuded an extraordinary aura. Even when facing 7 hostile experts from the sovereign's secret realm, she didn't show the slightest bit of fear. Long Yu listened to Consort Yu's words, and he began to ponder in his heart. The Nine Netherworld is the origin of the Nine Nether clan. Does that mean that Consort Yu belongs to the Nine Nether clan? According to the jade slip left behind by the Death Envoy, the entire Nine Nether tribe had left the Nine Netherworld for the Beyond Heaven world, and they had developed quite well. In that case, the Jiu-Yu tribe developed into the Jiu-Yu tribe after arriving in the Beyond Heaven world? Previously, the 2 cranes of the Heavenly First tribe mentioned that the Heavenly First tribe belonged to the Lushan clan. That means that in the Beyond Heavens world, the human tribe is mainly divided according to the clans. The Lushan clan and the Jiu clan are 2 very large clans. As for the Symbol clan and the Tiani tribe, these 2 tribes are only under the jurisdiction of the Lushan clan. The strength of the tribes is definitely not comparable to that of the clans. From Concubine Yu's simple words, Long Yu understood a lot of things that he didn't know before. These things were obviously not secrets in the Beyond Heaven world. It could even be said that everyone knew about them. But in the Shern Wu world, the only ones who knew about these things were probably existences at the level of the 5 emperors. Even the Death Envoy probably didn't know about these things. After all, the Death Envoy had been alive for too long. Now that so much time had passed, it was impossible for the Death Envoy to know about the situation in the Beyond Heaven world, not to mention that the Death Envoy was already dead. Since the Lushan clan can't manage the Nine Netherworld, why don't you return it to the Jiu clan? Concubine Yu spoke in an indifferent tone. Her words infuriated the 7 sovereign secret realm experts around her. Haha, Consort Yu, how strong do you think your Jiu clan is? To the Lushan clan, you're nothing. One of the sovereign mystic realm experts laughed heartily. Since the Nine Netherworld was originally allocated to the Lushan clan, it is the property of the Lushan clan. The Jiyo clan has no right to interfere. Allowing the younger generation of the Jiyo clan to come here to train is already giving us face. Don't be so shameless. Then, what do you want now? Consort Yu chuckled softly. Her figure was faintly discernible, and it was as though she didn't put the 7 people in her eyes at all. Cut the crap and get out of the Nine Netherworld. Even if other sovereign beasts appear, the Lushan clan will deal with them. It has nothing to do with you. Another sovereign mystic realm expert said, and his body emitted boundless lightning aura. It was as though he was going to start a fight at any moment. I just want to travel around the Nine Netherworld. What can you do to me? Consort Yu chuckled when she heard that. Misty immortal chi spread out from her body, enveloping the 7 sovereign mystic realm experts. Her figure became faintly discernible, and with a few leaps, she appeared in another direction in the void. Long Yu opened his eyes and saw that the 7 sovereign mystic realm experts from the Lushan clan were trapped in a cage made of immortal chi, and none of them were able to escape. This Consort Yu is so powerful? Long Yu's heart skipped a beat. He didn't expect that Consort Yu would be able to deal with 7 sovereign mystic realm experts at the same time with such ease. She even managed to trap all of them. If I wanted to kill all of you, none of you would be able to escape. Now why are you still here? Consort Yu's voice drifted into the ears of the 7 sovereign mystic realm experts, and they lost their courage in an instant. They didn't dare to stay and talk to Consort Yu anymore. Even though the Nine Netherworld was the territory of the Lushan clan, Consort Yu was much stronger than the 7 of them. Just you wait. We, the Lushan clan, won't let anyone bully us like this. One of the 7 people left behind some ruthless word. Then, he disappeared into the void along with the other 6 people. Obviously, they had left the 9 Serenities world to go to the Beyond the Heavens Sex Shan clan to ask for reinforcements. Seeing the 7 sovereign mystic realm experts retreating in fear, Long Yu found it harder and harder to guess Consort Yu's strength. Initially, he thought that Consort Yu was an ordinary sovereign mystic realm expert. But now, it seemed like an ordinary sovereign mystic realm expert wasn't a match for Consort Yu. We don't have much time. Make it short. After the 7 sovereign mystic realm experts left, Consort Yu waved her hand, and a barrier of immortal chi enveloped herself, Long Yu, and Yi Ziwei. It was obvious that she had something to tell Long Yu. Senior, please speak. Faced with Consort Yu, Long Yu was incomparably respectful, whether it was because of her strength, or because she had saved his life many times. Even though Long Yu had a lot of questions to ask Consort Yu, the most important of which was why he was reborn into this world, he didn't have much time. Hence, Long Yu didn't ask this question, and chose to listen to Consort Yu obediently. After all, under such circumstances, Long Yu felt that he would have many opportunities to meet Consort Yu in the future. Since time was tight, there was no need to ask questions that weren't important. In any case, the answer wouldn't affect Long Yu much. You've already obtained the 9 Nether mark. That's pretty fast. I'll come and pick you up once you've completely mastered the 9 Nether mark. Consort Yu's ethereal voice sounded. Pick me up? Pick me up where? Long Yu was a little puzzled. Great world, human race, Jiyo tribe. Consort Yu said very briefly, and then said, when you've mastered the 9 Nether mark, the entire 9 Nether realm will belong to you, and you will belong to our Jiyo tribe. Do you understand? Once these words were spoken, Long Yu instantly understood many questions. Consort Yu had been taking such good care of him all this while because she wanted to take back the entire 9 Nether realm. Just as Long Yu knew, the Jiyo tribe used to be the 9 Nether tribe in the 9 Nether realm, and was an important medium through which the Jiyo Dragon Emperor had arranged for him to be reborn. Unfortunately, the existence of the Envoy of Death had ruined the Jiyo Dragon Emperor's plan. The main reason was to send the people of the 9 Nether tribe out of the 9 Nether realm, and become the current Jiyo tribe of the human race. Although the Jiyo tribe was not weak now, and could even be very strong, this could be seen just by looking at the current consort Yu. However, the Jiyo tribe still wanted to take back the Nine Nether Realm. The current Nine Nether Realm was controlled by the Lushan clan of the human race, but once Long Yu was cultivated, then the Nine Nether Realm would belong to Long Yu. If Consort Yu brought Long Yu back to the Jiyo tribe, wouldn't that mean that she had obtained the entire Nine Nether Realm? I understand now, Long Yu said in a low voice. When he understood all this, many of the questions in his heart disappeared. This was, of course, a good thing for him. At least he now knew why Consort Yu had helped him so many times. It seemed that many of the things he had done along the way had been calculated by Consort Yu. That's good. Consort Yu was very satisfied with Long Yu's intelligence. She raised her hand, and a dense divine qi instantly covered Long Yu's body. She seemed to have done something to his body. Then, Consort Yu explained, "Now there's a camouflage mark on your dantian. Apart from me, no one else can discover the mark of the Nine Nether in your dantian. You can also hide the sacred objects of the exotic beasts in your dantian, so they won't be discovered by the exotic beasts." "Thank you, Senior." Long Yu nodded. This move of Consort Yu was obviously to protect him, to prevent him from falling into danger that he could not resist. As for other dangers, Long Yu would be able to handle them with his own strength. You don't have to think too much. When you completely master the mark of the Nine Nether and take back the Nine Nether Realm, you will be the hero of the Jiyo tribe. Everything in the Nine Nether Realm will belong to you, except for one thing, the Nine Nether Prison Tablet. Consort Yu smiled and said, "In fact, the Nine Nether Prison Tablet will still belong to you, but you will need to place it in the Jiyo tribe and let the geniuses of the Jiyo tribe comprehend it. You can comprehend it together with them." Long Yu instantly knew that his guess was not accurate enough. Consort Yu and the Jiyo Dragon Emperor wanted to take back the Nine Nether Realm not because it was their hometown, but because of the Nine Nether Prison Tablet that sealed the final will of the Jiyo Dragon Emperor. What is the Nine Nether Prison Tablet? Long Yu couldn't help but ask. I don't know either. But after some speculation, it might be related to the gods in the legends. Consort Yu's voice was a little uncertain. I'll tell you more when you come to the Jiyo tribe. I don't have much time now, I have to go. Okay. Long Yu nodded. He now knew that every time Consort Yu appeared in the Nine Nether Realm, she was under pressure. After all, the Nine Nether Realm now belonged to the Lushan clan, not the Nine Nether clan. Chapter 971. For Consort Yu, Long Yu had no choice but to follow her orders. Moreover, Consort Yu didn't just treat Long Yu as a tool. She would abandon him after obtaining the Nine Serenities realm. This was still acceptable to Long Yu. The girl you're carrying seems to be quite talented. I'll take her with me. If she can pass the test, I'll take her as my disciple. Immediately after, Concubine Yu glanced at Yi Ziwei, who was in Long Yu's embrace, and spoke with some joy. Hearing this, Long Yu's heart tightened. It can't be. Consort Yu is interested in Yi Ziwei? What should I do? Long Yu was still thinking that after this incident, his relationship with Yi Ziwei would become a little better. However, Long Yu didn't dare to refuse Consort Yu's request. Most importantly, if Yi Ziwei were awake, she would be willing to follow Consort Yu. After all, Consort Yu was a powerful existence in the Nine Serenities clan of the human race. If she followed Consort Yu, her progress on the path of martial arts would definitely be faster. Yes. Long Yu nodded and let go of Yi Ziwei in his arms. He trusted Consort Yu a lot. At least, Consort Yu wouldn't harm Yi Ziwei. If Yi Ziwei wasn't taken away by Consort Yu, the Lushan clan would probably discover the absolute beginning Thunder Seal on Yi Ziwei during the exploration of the realm of divine martial arts. At that time, Yi Ziwei would definitely be taken away by the Lushan clan. Since she would be taken away anyway, Long Yu was more inclined to let Yi Ziwei follow Consort Yu. After all, Consort Yu was on the same side as him. Within the dense immortal Qi, Concubine Yu slightly waved her hand and brought Yi Ziwei away. Immediately after, she brought Yi Ziwei along and directly disappeared from Long Yu's sight. From the looks of it, they had left the Nine Nether Realm. Only Long Yu was left in the void. Long Yu didn't think too much about it and immediately took action. He activated the Nine Nether Mark, condensed a teleportation channel with special spatial energy, and stepped into it. To Long Yu, the biggest task now was to completely master the Nine Nether Mark. But before that, Long Yu still had some other things to do. He could not ignore the Northern Snow Empire and the Heavenly Mandate Manor. The Battle Emperor was targeting him and wanted to kill everyone. Long Yu couldn't let him do as he pleased. Long Yu returned to the continent of the Shenwu world through the teleportation channel. He briefly checked the Jade Scroll that Consort Yu had just left for him. The Jade Scroll recorded the Elixir Scripture, which recorded most of the elixirs in the world. It could be said to be the most precious treasure of the Jiuyo clan. In the Jiuyo clan, only those with high status could read it. Long Yu needed this thing right now because he had obtained many elixirs from the palace where the Earth God clan's sacred relic was located. He didn't know what those elixirs were used for. But if he compared them with the Elixir Scripture, Long Yu would be able to understand the effects of these elixirs. Of course, now was not the time for Long Yu to study the elixirs. He calculated that there were 6 days left until the exploration of the Divine Martial Realm's core. In these 6 days, he had to find a way to get rid of the Battle Emperor and return to the Northern Snow Empire. Battle Emperor, you've done the right thing by targeting me. It's time for the people of the Alliance of 5 Emperors to taste the bitter fruit. Long Yu had already thought of a plan. Killing intent flashed in his eyes. Then, he moved and teleported to a corner of a mountain range in the Shenwu world. In this corner of the mountain range, Su Chen, Zhu Tian, Tan Shuya, and more than 40 experts from the Alliance of 5 Emperors, who were almost killed by the Battle Emperor, were waiting for Long Yu to appear. They teleported out from the Grand Palace in the underground space and appeared in this mountain range. It was about 10,000 miles away from the desert where the Earth God clan's beasts gathered. It was relatively close. However, when they all came out, they realized that neither Long Yu nor Yi Ziwei had come out. The spatial tunnel had been completely closed. No one believed that Long Yu would die just like that, so they decided to wait here for a while. Sure enough, 2 hours later, Long Yu's figure appeared in front of them. However, Yi Ziwei was no longer in his arms. This did not affect their joyful mood. They all came forward to greet him. "Little brother Long Yu, why did you take so long to come over? Did something happen?" Spirit Formation Master Su Chen stepped forward and asked Long Yu. Long Yu had come back because he had thought of a way to deal with the Battle Emperor. The key steps of the plan still needed to be carried out by these people, so he had to build a good relationship with them. Of course, even if it wasn't for Long Yu, these people already hated the Battle Emperor to the bone. Not to mention, Long Yu had saved all of their lives. Nothing too surprising. However, the matter of the Earth God clan's beasts has been resolved. We don't have to worry about the beasts anymore. Long Yu smiled at Su Chen and said, "Next, let's discuss how to deal with the Battle Emperor." Deal with the Battle Emperor. At the mention of this, all the people present suddenly became excited in their hearts. The middle-aged woman, Tan Shuya, also walked over and said with a serious expression, "Long Yu, since you said that you want to deal with the Battle Emperor, you must have a plan in mind. Why don't you tell me directly? If you need my help, I won't refuse." Tan Shuya was a dull woman. However, from her words, it was obvious that she also wanted the Battle Emperor to suffer. This is very simple. The underground space and the Grand Palace that we were in previously are all gone. We can lure the Battle Emperor there and set a trap in advance. As long as the Battle Emperor comes, he will definitely die. A murderous intent flashed in Long Yu's eyes as he said this. Before meeting up with Su Chen, Tan Shuyao, and the others, he had returned to the magnificent palace to check it out. He found that it was littered with the corpses of the Earth God clan's strange beasts and the remains of the statue creatures. Even the entire magnificent palace was in ruins. In other words, the grand palace was dead silent. This caused Long Yu to be quite disappointed, because if one or two statues were left behind, then a seventh-star monarch would be able to deal with a battle emperor as easily as cutting vegetables. But now all the statues were destroyed. Perhaps they were destroyed by the beast that entered the ruler's secret realm. Long Yu could only set up a trap to lure the battle arch over and lure the snake out of its hole. Then, he would take the opportunity to use the 5-star monarch realm puppets to deal with the battle arch. The most important part of this plan was to lure the battle emperor over. As for Su Chen, Zhu Tian, Tan Shuyao, and the others, Long Yu trusted them quite a bit. After all, they were all victims of this incident, and he believed that even the battle arch would not know what had happened here. The battle emperor has just ascended to the position of the 5 emperors. Other than solidifying his position, he wants to increase his own strength, Zhu Tian said in a low voice. From this point, we can set a trap. We can send someone back to pass a message to the battle emperor that there are many special secrets in this ruined palace. I believe the battle emperor will be interested. The problem is, who should we send back to lure the battle emperor out? Su Chen shook his head and said, "We've just communicated. All of us were once recruited by the battle arch, but we ultimately rejected him. That's why we were sent here and fell into this trap. The battle arch won't trust any of us. Also, Long Yu, are you sure the trap you set will be able to kill the battle emperor?" Tan Shuyao looked at Long Yu and asked, "If the battle emperor comes, he won't come alone. He'll bring others with him. They'll definitely outnumber us, and they'll be stronger. If the statues in the palace still exist, there won't be a problem, but now, don't worry, no matter how many people he brings, he'll die." However, Long Yu laughed. "I can set up a mechanism inside the palace. As long as he comes, he will definitely die. The only thing we need to think about is how to lure him here." As for why they had to lure the battle emperor into the majestic palace, that was a simple question. Because everyone here was an expert that had stepped into the emperor realm and comprehended the ability of deduction. All of them had tried to deduce the grand palace, but they noticed that they were unable to deduce anything within that underground space at all. The 5 emperors was a position established by the outer heavens. If they wanted to kill the battle emperor without anyone knowing, they had to do it in a place where they couldn't deduce anything. Otherwise, even if they managed to kill the battle emperor, they wouldn't have a good ending. "I'll lure him out." Very quickly, the strongest person in the group, 2-star Emperor Zhu Tian, stood up and said, "For the past 100 years, I've given my all for the alliance of 5 emperors and destroyed countless beast lairs. I didn't expect the new battle emperor to be so despicable. Everyone has always thought that I'm honest and loyal, but they don't know that I just haven't met a time where I need to be cunning." A murderous intent flashed across Zhu Tian's eyes. "Since the battle emperor is heartless, there's no need for me to be righteous. If he wants to kill me, I'll kill him." These words echoed the thoughts of everyone present, causing them to nod their heads. Everyone knew that Zhu Tian had always been a fair and impartial person. He had never lied to anyone. If a man like Zhu Tian went back to deceive the battle emperor and lure him out, the results would definitely be excellent. Everyone present didn't feel that there was anything wrong with the plan. After all, the battle emperor wanted to kill them so badly. Why couldn't they retaliate? The battle emperor's actions were undoubtedly against the 5 emperors' principles. Even if the plan was exposed, they wouldn't die. They believed that the sage emperor, the demon emperor, lay emperor, and the flame emperor wouldn't have any objections. After all, the sage emperor, the demon emperor, lay emperor, and the Flame Emperor wouldn't have any objections. Of course, if they went to complain to the Sage Emperor or the Demon Emperor now, they wouldn't be able to do anything. Therefore, everyone chose to listen to Long Yu and was prepared to resolve this matter themselves. Zhu Tian made some preparations and returned to the nearest alliance of 5 Emperors' teleportation formation with the help of Long Yu. Then, he activated the teleportation formation and teleported back to the sacred tower in the holy city of the 5 Emperors. Chapter 972. In the mysterious underground space, Su Chun, Tan Xiuyao, and the rest were all hiding somewhere in the underground space. They concealed their auras and quietly waited for what was about to happen. Long Yu, on the other hand, stepped into the majestic palace again to make his preparations. He didn't intend to activate the first Divine Division puppets in front of everyone. Therefore, the others could wait outside for now, including Zhu Tian. When he returned, he would report that he was the only one who survived. Then, it would be more convenient for him to act. As for the excuse that Zhu Tian had used to attract the battle Arch, Jiang Yi could easily think of it. The battle Arch was very interested in ancient relics. Now that he heard that an ancient relic had attracted countless 7-star Arch monarch earth god race mutated beasts, he would naturally be very interested. The battle between the Earth God tribe beasts and the statue creatures resulted in mutual destruction. This was undoubtedly a great opportunity for the battle Arch. As for why Zhu Tian reported this opportunity to the battle Arch, Zhu Tian couldn't explore the entire ancient relic alone. Therefore, he needed more reinforcements. The battle Arch definitely wouldn't tell the other 4 emperors about such a great opportunity. Instead, he would bring his men and enter the underground space. Then, Long Yu would have a chance to deal with the battle Arch. Of course, since the battle Arch was a crafty person, he definitely wouldn't bring his men without any preparation. However, Long Yu had 2 first Divine Division puppets with him. They were both 5-star Emperor level. No matter how prepared the battle Arch was, he wouldn't be able to leave this majestic palace alive. Long Yu waited in the back hall of the majestic palace. While he was waiting, he sensed that there were a few violent collisions in the realm of 9 serenities. They were definitely experts from the ruler's secret realm. The Earth God tribe beasts definitely wouldn't give up. Although they couldn't sense the aura of the holy relic that Consort Yu had concealed, they were certain that the holy relic was in the realm of 9 serenities. Naturally, they would continue to send experts over. As the territory of the human race, the realm of the 9 serenities wouldn't allow these strange beasts to do as they pleased. At first, Consort Yu was the first to arrive. But soon after, countless experts of the secret realm of the Lushan clan arrived at the realm of the 9 serenities. On the one hand, they wanted to stop Consort Yu, and on the other hand, they wanted to fend off the strange beasts of the Earth God clan that had come to the realm of the 9 serenities through special means. With the help of the 9 Nethermark, Long Yu could vaguely sense the energy erupting from a battle at the level of the sovereign's secret realm. It was clear that the 9 Netherworld wasn't peaceful at this moment, and danger was lurking everywhere. Of course, Long Yu didn't care about it. His current stance was naturally on the side of the Juyo clan. Whether it was the Lushan clan or the exotic beasts of the Earth God clan, they were all enemies to Long Yu. Although he didn't have much conflict with the Lushan clan, and he was even on good terms with the Heavenly First Division's Heavenly Twin Cranes, when Long Yu fully grasped the 9 Nethermark and occupied the realm of the 9 serenities, the Lushan clan would definitely have a very serious conflict with him. Therefore, both sides would become enemies sooner or later. Symbol Clan. Elder Murong, as long as I find an opportunity, I will definitely avenge you. Long Yu thought to himself. Murong Xiuzhen hadn't appeared since the incident at the 9 Serenities Black Palace. Obviously, he was found by the Symbol Clan with the help of the Purple Fan's curse, and was killed. Long Yu didn't have the strength at the moment. Once he had enough strength, he would definitely go to the Symbol clan and try his luck. And the Symbol clan was one of the core clans of the Lushan clan. As long you waited, he continuously sensed the aura of the 9 nethermark in his dantian. If he wanted to completely grasp the 9 nethermark, apart from relying on time, he could only find more whirlpools like the one before and absorb them. 3 days later, Zhu Tian's news arrived. With Zhu Tian's report, the Battle Emperor finally made sufficient preparations and led over 100 people to support the vanguard. The so-called vanguard was the 50 people led by Zhu Tian, Su Chen, and Tan Shuya. At this moment, the news from the holy city of the 5 emperors was that the vanguard was almost completely annihilated. Only Zhu Tian had returned alive. The Battle Emperor, under the name of support, personally led his people to this endless desert that was originally occupied by the Earth God tribe's strange beast. He followed Zhu Tian all the way to the underground space. When they arrived at the underground space, the Battle Emperor and the 100 people behind him all gasped in shock. Obviously, the majestic palace in the underground space had shocked them. However, at this moment, the entire majestic palace had become dilapidated. Just like what Zhu Tian had reported, the Earth God tribe's strange beasts had invaded this place but had been stopped by the statues here. After a huge battle, both parties had perished together and only ruins were left. Were there any treasures in the ruins? The Battle Emperor and the 100 people behind him were all extremely excited. Under the Battle Emperor's lead, the group of people led Zhu Tian towards the majestic palace. No one expected that all of this was actually an ambush set up by Long Yu and the others. The Battle Emperor definitely didn't expect this. No matter who came across such an ancient ruin, they would have the thought of exploring it. Moreover, Zhu Tian was with them. If Zhu Tian had lied and wanted to return the favor to them, Zhu Tian couldn't possibly have harmed himself, right? No one expected that Zhu Tian and the others would actually set up a trap here and ambush the Battle Emperor. Everything progressed very smoothly. Very quickly, the Battle Emperor brought everyone to the central palace. At this moment, the central palace was littered with the corpses of hundreds of 7-star Emperor-level Earth God tribe beasts, as well as the remains of many statue creatures. Seeing all of this, the Battle Emperor and the others were once again astonished. Everything that Zhu Tian had said was true. In this majestic palace, the Earth God tribe beasts and the guardian statues fought and perished together, leaving behind hundreds of corpses. I hope that there are some treasures in the depths of the palace that have not been taken by others. The Battle Emperor squinted his eyes as he spoke. This elder had been busy his entire life. Now, he had finally replaced the Red Emperor and become one of the 5 emperors. This was the most glorious moment of his life. However, he wasn't satisfied just because of this. This was because after becoming one of the 5 emperors, he met a representative from beyond the heavens, the Lushan clan. That was a powerful expert from the ruler's mystic realm. From this, the Battle Emperor understood many things that he didn't know in the past. He also knew that the alliance of 5 emperors was actually just a tool used by the forces from beyond the heavens. This made the Battle Emperor even more ambitious. He wanted to surpass the ruler's mystic realm and enter the ruler's mystic realm. Even if he was at the emperor's level, he still belonged to the ruler's mystic realm. Only by entering the ruler's mystic realm would he be able to create a small world in his body and become a true overlord. He would be able to live freely in the great beyond heavens. Because of this, the Battle Emperor was extremely concerned about the appearance of this ancient relic. He didn't expect that his plan to kill Zhu Tian, Su Chen, Tan Shuya, and the others who didn't cooperate with him would bring him such benefits. It was truly a coincidence. Furthermore, if it wasn't for the fact that everyone who followed Zhu Tian had died, Zhu Tian definitely wouldn't have brought this news back to the holy city of the 5 emperors. He would have gone to explore this grand palace himself. The Battle Emperor considered all the possible dangers in his mind. Then, he carefully led the group forward. Soon, they passed the central palace and saw the scene in the rear palace from afar. At this moment, the rear palace had already been turned into a trap by Long Yu, waiting for the Battle Emperor's arrival. Therefore, in the center of the rear palace, there were countless powerful combat weapons, pills, and jade scrolls. At this moment, they emitted an extremely alluring aura as they appeared in front of the Battle Emperor and the others. These were just appetizers. The real temptation was yet to come. Even so, many people behind the Battle Emperor couldn't hold back anymore. They saw that there were combat weapons that surpassed the ancient era in the palace in front of them. Under normal circumstances, the strongest combat weapons that appeared in the divine battle world would definitely be the ancient era. But now, there were many immemorial combat weapons in front of them. How tempting was this? An immemorial combat weapon represented the birth of a peerless expert. As long as they had an immemorial combat weapon, their status would instantly increase by several levels. It wouldn't be a big deal for their authority in the alliance of 5 emperors to increase by several times. Be careful, there's danger. I was hiding in the palace just now. I've never been so deep into the palace before. Zhu Tian said to the Battle Arch and the others in a low voice. Of course, they had to go all the way. Beside the Battle Emperor, there was a 2-star Emperor middle-aged man. This man had a large build and a slightly evil look in his eyes. When he heard Zhu Tian's words, he smiled. Big brother Zhu Tian, don't worry. This place has already been destroyed so thoroughly. Furthermore, we've already searched the entire palace. There isn't a single living creature in it. We shouldn't encounter any danger. This man was Zhu Tian's good friend. His nickname was Wild Dog. In the past, he had worked together with Zhu Tian to destroy many exotic beast lairs. He was extremely crazy when fighting against exotic beasts. It was this person. His detection techniques were top-notch, and he was the one who had said that there weren't any powerful Earth God race beasts nearby. It was this person. It was because of this Wild Dog's guarantee that Zhu Tian would lead everyone into the Battle Thearka's trap. Zhu Tian already knew that Wild Dog had definitely become the Battle Emperor's dog. However, he did not fly into a rage when he returned because he wanted to catch all of them in one fell swoop. Wild Dog, there's nothing wrong with being a little more careful. Let's send someone to scout the path first. Zhu Tian shook his head and insisted on being careful. Caution was the most important thing when exploring ancient era ruins. No one could deny this. When Zhu Tian said this, the Battle Emperor found it even more difficult to believe that this was a trap set up by Zhu Tian and the others. How about this? Whoever goes to the palace in front of us to check if there's any danger will be the first to enter. I'll allow him to pick 3 battle weapons at will. The moment the Battle Arch said this, the people around him started to get restless. 3 Archean combat weapons. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.